Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Be patient here. I don't even know how this is gonna work. This is the very first Ask Airsoftology stream. It's gonna be a little two-parter, and we're gonna jump our guest on here in a second. And I really appreciate you guys joining. I had a few little technical issues getting this thing started. I mean, heck, it's our first one here doing live streaming on the Airsoftology channel, like proper style. So what we're gonna do for this, just give you a quick heads up. So as you guys get jumped on, we're gonna have interactive chat with Mark from Laylax. We're gonna have him on. We're gonna be talking about marketing in Airsoft. If you guys want to get into the marketing world or business in the Airsoft world, things like that, he is going to be the guy to talk to. He's worked at some major retailers, and then of course now at Laylax, the premier Airsoft like accessory and parts manufacturer. I mean, globally, like I think they've won. I can't even count on a hand. I think even two hands how many awards they've won, like national awards. I mean, just probably fingers and toes. So if you have to talk to anybody about this, he is definitely the guy you're going to talk to about it. And without any further ado, let's get him on. Do we got him? Holy moly!
Are we on?
We are on.
Am I here?
Make sure, man. We got you. Yeah, I think we got it right. Can everybody see Mark? We got Mark on the channel. And
hi, everybody.
Yes, so we are here. For those of you that don't know, Mark and I'll give a quick background before we get started with Mark. Before you guys don't know, Mark and I have been doing a live stream, like low key live stream, and some of you do know this, for about a year now.
Yeah,
and
crazy, right?
It's wild, and we've been doing this. Golly, probably it's been a bit over a year. Called the
What is the joke, Jonathan? It's like when you hit a certain age as a middle-aged man, you do two things. You learn how to grill meats and start a podcast.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Yes.
Yeah, you grill meats, start a podcast, and wait, you forgot buy white New Balance shoes.
Oh yes. Well, that only when you're a dad, though.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a dad. Yes,
there's like a barrier of entry for that one.
Yeah, there is. There definitely is on that one. But sad to say, I guess safe to say, I don't have the white New Balance, so. You'll have the white on whites. But yeah, man, Mark and I do a podcast. We do it's kind of like a showcast. I mean, we just sit around and just talk for like an hour and a half once a week on Mondays. If you guys want to check it out, it's called the Hopped Up Podcast. You can just Google Hopped Up Podcast, or I think it's Stay Hopped Up on IG. We got IG there too, so you can follow us there. But you're here for the actual, I mean, God, this channel's been around for like well over a decade. The actual very first real proper Ask Airsoftology live stream, and the best way to kick this thing off is to have Mark on to join us and be here to answer your questions on anything Airsoft related. We'll talk about a few things. Mark's got limited time this morning because he's actually at the office today at Laylax. So we'll be starting taking your questions from chat. Now, when Mark drops off, which he'll do in about 30-ish minutes or so, give or take, we will be continuing on, and what we're going to be doing here is something I'm going to try a little different. I'm going to be recording the Airsoftology Q&A show, which I've always done is normally called Mondays. We're changing the name of Mondays to Ask Airsoftology. It's going to be recorded live in front of you here in the stream. I'll be taking questions from chat, answering those, and putting them in the Ask Airsoftology produced video, which will go up later. So if you're part of this going forward, this is going to be a weekly thing. We're going to be pulling your questions from here and putting them into the next Ask Airsoftology weekly produced show. So you get to kind of be a part of the production and get your questions answered. So, all right.
Well, this will really help you out in the pinch.
Yes, it will. I don't know. I'm going to change the tagline. I don't know, man. It's like hashtag Ask Airsoft. I don't know. Help you out in a pinch. I don't even know where that came from. That's like the worst tagline ever.
But that was your Monday signature.
That was my Monday signature, man. I did that like, how many years have I doing Mondays? Like 5? It's insane. I don't know.
It's branding by now.
It is.
So
it is. Yeah.
Just like put it on a shirt, right? Helps you out in the pinch.
Helps you out in a pinch. Call your freaking hits.
But it has to be mirrored.
Mirrored, yes. It has to be mirrored. By the way, I've been bagging on Mark. If you guys follow Mark on his Real Mark West, and that's MARCK, Real Mark West on IG, or his Laylax, he's always posting photos, and he has his shirt mirrored. And it's like a total troll thing now. I should have mirrored you in this chat, by the way, so your shirt's backwards. By the way, that's a killer SIG shirt. By the way, if you guys aren't watching, if you zoom in, I don't know, it's really small over here. That is a SIG Sauer, Japanese SIG Sauer shirt, which is like super cool.
It's really nice. I would like, if we didn't have the tiger stripe one, I would say this is my favorite. But the tiger stripe one is my my favorite.
Dude, that
It's
one's
so
legit.
nice.
That one's legit.
That's so slick. Yes. So what we got to talk about today, Mr. Higgs?
Well, man, we're going to start grabbing some questions. We got Yacray and DJ have already got some questions in here. So we'll probably jump with, because it's a little more on point. We'll start with DJ and Yacray. We're going to come right back to you on this one. So first off, DJ is asking, so what's new in the world of, okay, actually, I have a question for you before we actually get to DJs. Is it Laylax or is it Lilax? We need the definitive answer.
Lilax, like, the flower, the lilac.
Lilac. Okay,
Right.
so
It's
it should be LIELAX instead of LA.
It's lilac.
So, lilac. There you go. Definitive answer. Lilax. I still
lilac.
mispronounce it. So what's new in the world of lilacs, Mark? This is from DJ, by the way. So we're expecting you. What are we going to be expecting for you, the west side of the pond, from you guys?
All right. So wow, there's so many new things. So coming here, I think number one, the first thing I want to talk about is content-wise. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I had an opportunity to come here, and also something that I'm very passionate about. So,
Man, by the way, I've been seeing your content, like you guys, like and I do want to plug your new channel before you can jump in this. You guys have been like dropping some really good content on the new Lilax International channel. So
yes. So if you guys haven't seen it, or you want to be caught up with all of the ins and outs and the new products and how our products work outside of just installation, hey, check us out, Laylax International, where Ryan, my co-host, and we kind of break down why you need some of these things, what makes our parts different, and what sets them apart from some of the competition. So I think that's, if you're into teching or you want to get the most out of your airsoft experience, I think that's the number one place to be. It's not just me talking in front of a camera, but we try to make it more entertaining for you guys to kind of
saying we got a little
give
buzz.
you a good variety content. So that's what I've been doing.
All right.
So it was content.
Hold on for a second. We got a little bit of audio buzz. Are you guys getting this? Are we back okay? I'm going to look at chat here.
Uh-oh.
Everybody's saying audio is buzzing. I'm going to try this. Okay, I just muted Mark. Let me know if the audio is still good now or not. Are we good? I'll ask in chat. Okay, it's on Mark's end. Okay, so I muted Mark. I'm going to bring Mark back. Now, we're going to do a test. So let's go. Mark, talk up, and we'll see if you come back. I'm going to try to pull your audio level down a little bit and see if we can fix this.
Yeah, maybe that's the issue. I can just speak a little bit louder.
Okay, good now. All right, I'm going to pull it down. Okay, I'm going to pull you down, and then we'll see what we can do. Maybe pull your levels. So
Okay.
The challenge is a tech. Nope, it's Mark. So yeah, you've got buzz on your line, which is really weird. All right, so let me see what we can do to fix this. I'm going to...
Here, this is what I can do. Maybe I can take out I'll just take off my headphones and just use my computer audio.
Well, what's weird is, and thank you guys, by the way, thank you all for dealing with this. This is our very first one, so we're going to have some technical issues here, of course. What's weird is you sound fine in my ear, which is the odd thing.
Bizarro land.
Yeah, I know. So, but if I mute your line, which I'm doing right now, Mark's muted, so I'm going to take the buzz out of chat for a second. And let me do this. Let me see this. Let me kill the sound. Let me see if this is causing the issue. All right, let's see. Are we good now? Are we okay? Let's try this. I'm going to kill this one. All right. So now I made a quick change on audio. How is it looking, chat? Are we all right?
Technical issues. Yay.
All right. It looks like we have some thumbs up. Looks like we're sounding good.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, bad jack by cable. Yeah, but everything's digital. That's the thing. Like he's actually dumping into the computer, which I have off screen here. I'm good, not Mark. Okay, well, let's see. How can we do this? So yeah, it's something to do with yours, man. Let me do this. I am going to dump Mark out and we're going to re-add Mark. Hey, Mark, I'm going to kill Zoom and put you back in. Bye. Okay. See you in a minute. I'm going to go back to 1UP real quick and we're going to dump out of Mark. And then I'm going to create a whole new meeting for Mark. All right, so now... Technical problems. It's life, everybody. I appreciate it. Let me move this. Too many things on my desktop. Okay, so thanks for dealing. Yeah. So anyway, Mark, we'll get him right back on. I appreciate you guys dealing with this. Hopefully, this will solve the problem. And I will send him a chat on the old phone to let him know he's good to go. Jump back in. And keep putting your questions in chat, by the way. Jump back on, man. All right. There we go. He should be joining us very, very shortly. And then once he gets back on my side over here, I'll get him added back to the show. So, yeah, I mean, what we're doing is we got a good thing. Yeah, Master and Starseed and everybody, Winky, thank you for giving us feed. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I hear him just fine in my ear, which is just really odd. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Sure. All right. We got him back. Mark, can you hear me, bud? Let's get Mark's headphones. That. Okay. You good, Mark? All right. I hear you. I'm going to add you back to the show, and hopefully it's not incredibly broken when I add you back. All right. Let's go back. All right. Let's see now. Chat.
Hello.
Is Mark
I am
good?
back. If you still have the same problems, maybe I should take off my headphones.
Nah. Are you in iPods?
Yes, I'm on
AirPods. Oh, you're one of those. You're one of those. Cool. Hey, Stingray. Thanks for joining. Okay, good. They're saying better. Good. All right. So just when in doubt, hit reboot, right? All right. So we're back. Mark, you were saying new channel, new stuff going on. Your content now is, I like it because it's incredibly informative. So what you're doing is, I know if you guys, and this is like me totally, I like this. And I think this is very much your audience here with Airsoftology. You're giving like a lot of not just like, hey, this is our product, you should buy our product. It's, hey, here's our product, but here's the value of this type of product if you want to put it into something and what you get or how to do it. And you're giving a lot of tips and tricks, which I do enjoy a lot of.
Yeah, I think that was one of the number one approaches that we wanted to do is through a wide variety of content to be able to, spread a broad net to appeal to more people. At the old place, when I did reviews or when I did a lot of the content, I had to go into it with an assumption that there was a baseline level of knowledge that people know, like what a hop up is, what a hop up does, what an inner barrel is, what an inner barrel does, right? What gearboxes are and what gearboxes do. With here, it's kind of like we have to go backwards a little bit to kind of re-tackle what these things are, because we do such premium upgrade parts for a lot of these parts, these things about airsoft guns that we talk about. But we have to now come at it in a point of view is like, okay, maybe some people don't know what it does, and we need to kind of do a baseline fundamental re-education. So we had to do certain series that were able to tackle that. And we just, from that foundation, we were able to build up. So we try to do kind of the donut media approach, different series on different days, and we try to keep it within, a theme for that month or for that month and a half, depending on the audience feedback. The two that we're doing right now, weapon crafting, where we build guns based on, inspired by video games.
Yeah.
It just allows Ryan and I to kind of have fun. It's a great way to start the week. And of course, Airsoft High Lows, which is something that we've really enjoyed, just to kind of, build on a shoestring budget versus kind of like a high budget, which I really enjoy as well. And of course, gameplays in the middle of the week. So just kind of give everybody a good holdover of content throughout the week itself, and then shorts on the other 2 days and stuff.
And you guys are busy. Speaking of gameplay, I saw your post. You're going to Okinawa to go play?
Yes, we're gonna go meet some peeps down in Okinawa. So if anyone watching right now is in Okinawa, whether you're a service member or you're just kind of living there and you want to hang out, go play some airsoft, maybe grab a bite afterwards. Hey, we're gonna be there on October the 21st to the 23rd. So if you guys are down, we're gonna be there. Now with that out of the way, let's quickly talk about product. I'm gonna highlight 2 new products coming out that I am okay talking about.
Okay.
Number one,
the Lego. No, we'll talk about that in a minute.
No, not the Legos, not the Legos. But I do want to highlight 2 things that I think a lot of people have been asking us about, and it kind of goes into what DJ was asking. What's new? Our CNC hop-up chamber. It's called the Elite hop-up chamber.
Finally, dude.
Everybody has been asking us for
real.
CNC.
You guys have been making hop-up chambers since like the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the de
And
facto upgrade, but like now everybody's doing CNC, everybody's moving forward. I'm
yes.
like, and I know what you were doing. I know you were waiting, not waiting, you were waiting to make it right.
That's
Because
right.
you guys don't rush into a product because you have a really high reputation.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, we also kind of have to consider, like, after being here for this short time, watching how our R&D people work, and kind of how they think about the product is, okay, there's other chambers on the market, right? What are those doing, and how are they performing, right? And we kind of have to see, okay, where the benchmark is, and what players and what customers want from these specific products. And so we see where they excel and where they fall short. And so we take all of that and we put it together, and we kind of put it up on a chart and say, okay, these are the things we need to tackle. And this is what we need to make sure happens before we ship this product out. So now when you get one of our elite hop-up chambers, I swear it's an instantaneous FPS bump. Our variation between FPS on an AEG is between 1 and 4, maybe 3, give or take. And this is, I'm talking about just playing in one jewel Japan.
Yeah.
We're taking shots, like when we went out to go play at a forest field, I think like 2 weeks ago, after we went camping.
And for people who don't know, by the way, let me fill them in. If you guys don't know, Japan has very, very strict FPS levels.
Very strict,
or
yes.
power level, let me say FPS, but power levels, it's sub 1 joule, which is
it's
under
about 320 or something like that,
300-ish FPS, which is what, 100 meters, got roughly about 100 and less than 100 meters a second. So yeah, it's a really low power level. So you need every advantage you can get to get the range and accuracy.
Yeah, that's right. So just with our low power levels, we're able to send these BBs down straight without even having to lob for about 40-50 meters, without seeing any significant dip, without seeing the hop up start to do its thing to rotate the BB upwards. The air seal works fantastically with any of our buckings. Also, the best part is if you get one, you get 2 buckings.
And I got a question for you. So you get 2 buckings, the chamber all in there. You get 2 of the same bucking. What colors?
No, you get a purple and our new blue.
The new blues are 60s, right?
Or blues are 60s, and then they're the firm type. So they're ideal for basically most of the outside of Japan, Western nations. So you're looking at FPSs from about 350 to 400.
Okay, so the blue is gonna be ideal for most of your Western players that are out there.
Yeah.
Question on the hop up while we're talking about it, and this is a big one for me. I know there's some parts compatibility with all the different brands out there. I know you guys carry BCM, you guys carry Sig Sauer. A lot of that stuff's made by VFC. Is this hop up chamber directly compatible with VFC air nozzles?
So the one that we have right now is the standard TM spec.
Okay.
VFC one, well, you never say never.
Right, because I love your chamber, but compatibility with some VFC spec guns of even your standard chamber is just not there. It's not no fault of yours, because you're going to build for your market, and it works for a lot of other brands. I mean, tons of other brands. VFC air nozzle spec is a little different, and that's why it's different. So that's what I was asking specifically on that, because a lot of people will be like, oh, I've got a HK416 from VFC, or I've got a BCM, or I've got a 6 hour MCX. Will this work? So,
well, we always have things in development. So,
okay, I feel
I'm never saying never, but I'm just I gotta wait my turn before I can talk about certain.
Yeah.
Second thing that we want to talk about.
Oh wait, Dane asked, do you have price point on that yet? Do you have pricing?
Yes, we do, but our prices on our website are for Japan only. I would highly recommend you maybe check out Red Wolf or Evic. Depending on where you are and wherever.
Pricing varies. I mean, right now if you guys, I mean, I'm sure you follow like currency and inflation and all this stuff. Like, it's so hard to say. Like, if you say it in Japanese yen, like yen fluctuates against. I mean, like even me, I'm like, I don't even know anymore. So yeah, just check your local countries. Are they shipping already? Are they out?
Yep.
Okay.
Some people already have it. So I would say check with Red Wolf or Evic. Those are the 2 big ones. Yeah. They usually have it out quite quickly.
What about EU? Do you know, like, is there like Gunfire or Land Warrior or anybody?
I would say check with Land Warrior. They would probably be your number 1 source to kind of see what's going on. So yeah, definitely if you're in the EU or if you're in the UK, please hit up our boys at Land Warrior, and I'm sure they'll take good care of you.
Awesome. So, okay, I just want to add that because I know people always ask like that.
No problem.
HPA nozzles, you should be fine, by the way. Yeah, because you can get
Yes.
HPA nozzles in different lengths and specs. You shouldn't have any issue with the HPA setup on this. It's just specifically to the stock and standard VFC stuff. That's why I wanted to bring that up because from a technical standpoint, they are different. Even though it's still Marui spec, the nozzle's a little different. So what's number 2? And by the way, I'm getting on these other questions like Paul and Ades and things like that. I'm banking your questions in after Mark finishes his.
So I'm going to give you one more kind of new product that we have coming for all you Scorpion Evo boys. We have a brand spanking new handguard that we're going to be talking about just tomorrow. It's good to we have the okay to talk about this. It is a rapid, we call it the rapid handguard, because you no longer need to take off that whole front section to put your battery in the gun. So what we have done is we've designed a lower portion that even fits Titan batteries that can be detached with one pin, and the whole bottom slides out. And then you put your battery in and it slides back in. So you no longer need to take off the barrel. You don't have to worry about losing your charging handle spring. You don't have to worry about, does your receiver, is it aligned properly again? Just use this and your problem is solved. It's aluminum and it's M-Long.
From a guy who had like, I love my Scorpion Evo. Like absolutely, but like getting a battery in another thing was like absolutely nightmare mode.
Dude, it was pulling teeth. Okay?
It was like
terrible.
And it's such a small compartment, so you can't run a big battery. And it, like the Evo is so fantastic. It shoots great, so crisp. But like when I was like, oh, and there's only so much space, and you inevitably, if you're running a long event or even just playing in the outlet, battery's gonna die. And you're just like, and it's and it would kind of crud out because that's like the electronic triggers, so it kind of would warn you, and you just like gone. So
yeah.
So awesome upgrade. I love how this is what, by the way, this is what Laylax does is they'll solve all these little problems out there, and that's what I love. Like you have like a cool. By the way, you do a lot of cool upgrades like cosmetic and aesthetic upgrades.
Oh yeah, all the
high
crazy
kappas
stuff.
and things like that.
Very long or very short.
Yes, and really cool colorways, man. Like some of the like your purple green stuff, like some of the oil slick
stuff.
Yeah.
So
oh my gosh.
So beautiful. So if you guys don't know, just to let you guys know, the person who does all of our color for Zanshin is our little sister in all of our shorts. She is the Zanshin master. She's the one who mixes the color and applies the color. So now you guys know. Hey, it pays when you go to art school sometimes.
Yeah, dude, you guys, by the way, speaking of like in your shorts, you had a fire short that.
Which one?
Well, I know which one now, right? But you had one. You had a really fire one about like the different type of airsofters.
Oh yes,
dude, that thing hilarious. Like, how many millions of views did you get on that thing?
Dude, the one where we were talking about like how people in Japan get hit versus some of us
in the
overseas,
West, yeah,
we kind of overreact. That one got 1.3 million views, which was kind of nuts. So,
dude, I've never had a million hit thing like that,
which is great. So my co-host on that one, Shin, he's a super airsoft ninja, and he's an awesome guy. And that is legit our actual dynamic when we're off the screen as well. So it's great. So what's next?
Big Brain Airsoft is asking a quick question about this. He wants to ask, you have any experience with the Aeroflex face guard? He's trying to find a good face mask that works well with goggles. So I know you've been running it. I haven't had a chance to play with it yet.
Dude, I am the Aeroflex evangelist. Okay, just saying.
So you're gonna drink some. He's been drinking the Kool-Aid. So
I was sipping the Kool-Aid before I even got here. So, anyways, the Aeroflex is actually a great face mask. Because number one, on the front end right here, where it covers like your nose, your mouth, and a bit of your cheeks here, it's silicone. So it's flexible, right? So it's not going to crack, it's not going to shatter when you get hit by a BB. So the other thing is the cloth that they use over it is quite breathable, and you can wash it. So it can always be fresh smelling, and it forms very well to your face. The loops loop around your ear, and you have a Velcro in the back of your head, so it makes sure it stays on. One of the things that a lot of people have concerns about is, okay, what about fogging issues? The good thing is the silicone mesh piece or the silicone piece over your nose.
You're buzzing again.
No.
You're fired, bro. All right. I know how to fix this now. So I'll see you in 2 seconds.
Okay.
We're going to fix Mark again with a buzz. We already did it once. We're going to fix him again. All right, don't worry. We got him. I'm just gonna dump him out, like just hard kill him out of the meeting. Yeah, we've had this trouble with him. I don't know if it's like just the system doesn't like his AirPods or what. The weird thing is, and I appreciate chat. Thank you so much for helping me on this because I can't hear it. That's the weird part. So go figure. Oh, hey, we got a spam bot in chat. Yay, our first one. Wow, let's just go ahead and kick them out. Pornography or sexually explicit material. Bye-bye, spam bot. All right, let's get, all right. Now that that's going on, let me get Mark back. Let me find my Zoom call. You know you made it when the spam bots show up. So we're definitely doing it. We're definitely doing it now. All right, let me, oh my gosh. Yeah, we can't have nice things. Luke, no kidding, man. Yeah, and I know you're like, we've seen this before. Like, I know, like, if you guys watch the podcast Mark and I do, you know it's it. Do I need a mod? Actually, it's funny. I've got a bot in here, but I'll probably, as we grow, we will probably need a mod for this or a few of you guys to help out for sure. So let me tell Mark to jump back on. I know he's on. Okay. All good. Hopefully his audio is good when he comes back in like last time. Yeah, best airsoft. Only pews. That's right, E-House. And by the way, E-House, I saw you sneak in. But by the way, E-House runs, like, he's got an awesome channel. Like, go ahead and plug yourself. I don't know. It may if you put your link in there, it might auto bot you. It's funny. It'll auto bot if you put your link in there, but it will not auto bot slam you if you do best adult day. Oh my gosh, those people, man, I'm telling you. All right, let's get back. All right, Marky Mark, are you back?
All right, I'm back.
Yes. Hey, you know what? Come cool. I would absolutely, like, I'm for real. Like, not gonna lie, we need a date. First off, let me know if Mark's got a buzz. Like, because we had a bot while you were gone. There was like one of those like best dating site, and like the chat was like chat-69.xyz. So I banned him right as you were leaving. I was like, oh, cool, we made it. By the way, if you get the bots in your channel, you made it, right?
Oh, I want some bots.
But okay, app idea, right? Total app idea. Like a dating or matching site, and good. By the way, your audio is good again. For airsofters, like literally, like I want to play a game. Swipe right. You know, if like you need a team, if you need a game, there should be like.
Isn't that just hop up?
It's kind of hop up, but like it needs to be its own standalone. Like, you know, when you're in a new area, you're traveling around, you're like, let's see what we got. Hot players in your area. Like, what's your KD ratio? You can like sort by like HPA, milsim, you know, speed soft. So you can actually have different. It's like HPA, AG, GBB, and then you have like the style. Like, what is your platform? Like, hey man, there's really, honestly, I probably would pay for that. Not gonna lie.
Hot GBB players in your area.
In your area, yes.
Looking for green gas.
Yes. no propane. That's like one of the tags. Hashtag no propane.
Yeah, hashtag no propane.
God, that actually, yes, that would be a seriously awesome. Yes. I'll have to put this one in the bank for next year's April Fools.
Yes, you do that.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, so all right, back to the
Mark's back. Aeroflex. Yes, let's get this done for you. Buzz again.
The best part is it really does minimize a lot of fogging, and like I've not had much fogging. The only issue I've had with anything is like I'm sure many of you do is we get a little sweaty and then my glasses kind of water up. They don't really fog that much at best, even at all. Like if you run goggles, you're actually you're pretty Gucci. But like the best part is because the cloth that we use is very well ventilated and the silicone piece is also ventilated. It's got holes in it. So it really allows the airflow to kind of go in and out of your mask. So it does minimize a lot of fogging. Not to mention the colors look great too. So
yeah, you got a bunch of different colorways. So you got something that'll match whatever you guys are running.
You have 4 right now. You have tan, black, ranger green, foliage green, and my favorite, multicam black. So it's got we have these 4 colors right now. Again, contact your local dealer. I'm pretty sure so many people carry it. So just get one of those. And also an added bonus is because the sides of your cheeks is just covered by the cloth. You can cheek your rifle really well. And the flexible silicone piece over your face, even if it comes down to your chin, it's not going to impede you getting behind your sight. So if that's something that's really important to you, and you're not running a riser, or even if you are running a riser and you got to cheek your rifle, you're going to be completely fine. You're going to no longer run into those issues with hard mesh. Even if it's only covering your mouth, you're going to have some discomfort with this thing.
You know what the worst
It's
about
really
hard
good.
mesh is for me? I know this is like hashtag beard problems. I've been running the 5 o'clock shadow a little more lately. When you run the mesh mask, because they're all meshed in, right? And you cheek
Oh
in, it'll
yes,
grab your beard and for those who don't have a beard, you don't know what I'm talking about. Like
yes,
for
it
real, this is
does.
legit
It
prop. It will
does.
literally like you'll cheek in, like just even the mask running, it'll grab your beard and just, it's like pulling hairs like right out of, and it's the
Yeah,
worst. And the
it
longer
really
you have
is.
like you, the worse it is. It literally just
Yeah,
rips. It's like doing like waxing one hair at
yeah.
a time. It's the
Hashtag
worst.
not fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is no bueno. Hashtag no bueno, man. It
Yeah.
sucks. So it's really it is beard problems.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So hey, you know what, guys? Check it out. Check out the Aeroflex.
yeah.
It's light. It's breathable. You can wash the cloth. It's something I highly recommend.
Yeah, actually, if you have a thick enough beard, you can usually avoid the mask in this part. But I don't know, man. I've had some pretty nasty ones up close. That still fun story is the reason
Mm-hmm.
my beard grew out is because I took a face shot like up close like
Ouch.
14 years ago playing airsoft, and I'm like, oh, and I couldn't shave, and I was like, I'll just grow a beard, and that was it.
Yep, that
So
was it. What's next? What's good?
all right, let's talk about what's coming up, and this is gonna be a big one for both of us. I want to talk about the Crytac owners meeting in Japan in
Yes.
November. This is a big deal, and if you guys and gals don't know, I'm going to give you a little background. Used to be an annual event, of course, with the vid. Everything's changed, and now that the vid, and I don't want to use that word because they'll flag the stream or something. Once the vid's over now, and Japan has finally reopened as of like last week. I think a week and a half ago is official. They announced it.
They made the announcement in 5 days. We going back to
Yeah,
pretty
going
much
back
how
to
it was before.
normal, right? So now that they're
Yes.
normal, same with Taiwan where I'm at. If you guys don't know, I'm actually in Taiwan. I think most of you know, but some may not. So we're really rather close to each other. The Crytek owners meeting used to be an annual event. It's been on hiatus a couple years, obviously because of that, or like local, I guess. But it is this gathering of, I think like it's a kind of exclusive. There's only a few hundred tickets. And it would always bring in some media from out of country, and we would cover this event, a special event at what Sabaje? How do you pronounce that? Sabaje?
It's at the
Sabage?
Tokyo Sabage Park.
Sabage Park. And it adds, hey man, I'll see you, man. I know it's 3 a.m. Oh my gosh, yeah, get some sleep, bro. Appreciate you coming out this late.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, for you UK guys, it's like just catch the replay. We know it's late. We tried to pick a good time. So yeah, it's Sabage Park. I've played there like a couple, 2-3 times now. I think I've been. This will be 3 or 4.
Nice place.
It's a great place. I've been to this event multiple times. I always look forward to this. And this year, you guys are bringing in an expanded media group because it used to be just a smaller
Yes.
group of people. Now
Yep.
it's going to be like a big. I think I saw in chat one of the attendees, US Airsoft's in chat here.
Yes, Scott.
You got Scott from US Airsoft. You got Stu from Airsoft Insider or Airsoft Action Magazine.
Airsoft,
Airsoft
yeah,
Action
Airsoft.
Magazine. Airsoft Insider is the one I used to write for years ago. It's long defunct Airsoft Magazine. So yeah, Airsoft Action Magazine. You've got Nono Cat out of New Zealand. You've got, of course, I'm going to be there. Of course, Mark's there. Of course, here in Japan. Who else is coming? Who else we have? Scott from Land Warrior, different Scott. The Land
And we
Warrior
have
guys.
Kevin from Random Guy Kev.
Oh yeah. Kevin's gonna be there.
Yeah, Kev's going to be here too.
And then also the Eva crew, are they coming?
I think Matt and them are going to be here as well.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's a really big one. And it's good to see that this like everything's growing.
Yeah. It's a big community event. Like I came here as a guest my first time back in 2019. And the idea behind it is we wanted to be able to give something special to like the community of players or owners of Crytacs, right? It's not just like a circle of
Yeah.
of Crytac
Yeah.
owners.
No, this
It's-
is but you guys distribute Crytek in Japan.
Yes, we do. We
Yeah.
do. And so it's really a thank you for being one of like a Crytac owner. Thank you for purchasing from us. And we wanted to be able to give back to our community of people. And it's a very special event where people, like-minded people, bring their custom guns, custom painted, custom upgraded, and then we put them all together in an event where they can kind of share with each other. You can mingle. Oh, what's your gun like? Oh, I want to check out your gun. And then of course, you know, you can play with the different factions. Oh, I'm Team Chris Spector. Oh, I'm Team CRB. And then they have these team battles, right? And they really, you know, the companies really spend a lot of time to kind of build the lore and build the energy behind this, where people always look forward to be able to share the passion that they have for their airsoft guns and the passion that they have for the brand and how they enjoy it.
And these tuning companies that show up,
Oh,
I know they
yeah,
have a
these tuning
competition
companies that show up.
of
Yeah.
like
Oh,
the
yeah.
the best performing tuning. And remember, we talked about earlier, Japan has like very restrict limits. These tuning companies, the things they can do with the constraints of sub 1 joule
Yes.
are mind blowing. I'm talking like, I'm not lying. They have a range out. I was hitting targets at like 75, 80 meters with sub
Yes.
1 joule. And I'm just like, how
Mhm.
do you guys do this? I mean, it's
0.2 BBs.
Yeah.
Flying like a laser.
it is mind-boggling. Like, absolutely, with those constraints, like those guardrails on like what these guys can do. It's just unbelievable, amazing.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. And it's a huge festival. You know, we have all the lanterns and everything. It is a fantastic opportunity.
I've got one of those
for the
lanterns
community to
I
get
from
together.
somewhere around here, tucked in one of my
Yeah, I love it. Those
keepsake box.
the red
The big
lanterns,
red
yeah.
lantern,
And,
yeah.
and so it's a great opportunity for like-minded people to get together, and it's very festive. You know, there's food trucks, there's other shops there, and it's a great opportunity just for people to enjoy the presence of each other and talk about what makes their gun special and see other gun builds. And it's just one of those things that I feel like, you know, very, very, very community based, and we're so excited to have it back.
I know. My gosh,
This
I'm
year,
so
this year I don't get to be a guest. This year I got to work this.
you got to
so-
work it. Yeah, I know. I was like, all
I
right,
have to
well, hang
work it.
out, Mark. I'm like, oh yeah, Mark's gonna have to work. So, but it's always fun. I mean,
Just take
it's
that.
work for all of us. I mean, we're there
Mhm.
to
That
support
is very
you,
true.
to promote everything. So when we're there, like, it's just go, 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 go. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a ton of fun, but it's like you always have a camera in hand. You're always doing something.
Yeah.
So yeah. So in that one, we got a couple more questions in chat. I don't know how much time do you have left. I know you got to maybe bounce out.
We can do maybe 2 more questions.
So I got one, and I think this is good. And I remember seeing this pop up, and I hadn't had a chance to answer it because I saw it pop up in my YouTube app, like of questions. And this is what was it? Ilra RC, was it Ilra SC? Man, I don't even know how to pronounce your name, bro. But I think your question popped up in there before. He's asking, and this is a very good question. I think I kind of have a guess of what the answer would be. Where are all the GBBR magazines in the West? They're near impossible to find.
Wow. Good question. We ask this question all the time to ourselves too. So
What's it like in Japan? Are you guys like, is there a drought of GBBR mags too, or?
So it depends, right? So even when I was at the old place, MWS magazines are always difficult to find. I mean, they're like Bitcoin. I swear to God. Like they had their own marketplace.
But there's like a like every day they'll
There's
go
a
up and
black
down.
market.
There's like, you
Yeah,
know, stock grab, like what's the price today? Let me look.
Exactly. I mean,
Oh no, we get your buzz
One-
back. We get your buzz back. Hang on. I'm gonna kill you and bring you back. Just count to 30 and then rejoin. Mark, like that's the look of disgust on Mark's face. He's like, oh, get rid of the AirPods. See you, dude. That's poor Mark. Oh wow. So anyway, I'll kind of touch on this while we're getting Mark back. And let me I got this down like pro now. Oh, I forgot to change the scene back to me. So yeah, what I'm thinking, I know in the Japan market, I'm thinking the West market. Let me get him at it. Okay, we're good. We'll just wait for him to join back on. In the West, I really feel like it's a couple things. Here in Asia, you'll see, especially like in Taiwan, GBBs are wildly popular. Now you're asking about like WA mags, Western Arms, WE or WE mags or whatever. AWA system, like the VFC stuff, all the mags that are out there on the market. There's a ton of mags on the market, and you're going to find them here. They're very readily available in Asia. However, outside the market, you don't really see them. And I think it's a couple reasons. One, that the Asian market snatches these things up. Like, oh, our chatbot's back. All right, hang on. And Mark's back too. You know, it's weird, Mark. You come back, and then the adult chatbot comes back.
Clearly, it's a me problem.
Hide user on this channel. There you go. Go pound sand. Chat all you want. Chat dash. They changed their name with a hyphen now. Wow. Really original. And by the way, too, I want to say this too. Like, for real, if you see something that says like you won a contest Telegram in chat, that is not me. Look for the check. For real, look for the check mark. Like, literally look for the check mark. Don't reply to anything that doesn't have Airsoftology with the check next to it. So anyway, so I was just saying, like, I think in Asia, the deal is, I think Asia might be the reasoning behind why we're not seeing gas blowback mags, because I feel like Taiwan, Hong Kong, everybody just soaks them up. Like, literally, they're just like, and the gas market here, GBBRs, is so wildly popular that the manufacturers will make the mags. And with supply chain issues, it's been a challenge to get like high production runs. So they may be like 500 or 1,000. Let's say make 1,000 mags. If you're a manufacturer here and you get your local guy calls you up, it's like, hey, I'll take those. Well, I got 1,000. I'll take them all. And you're like, really? And you're like, yeah, I'll take them all. And you're like, well, cool. They're yours, right? So you don't have to go. I mean, ideally, you got to think like the companies that operate here are manufacturers. They're not distributors, right? So if you get like your like even your company now, your old company you work for is a retailer. Mark used to work for Red Wolf. If you work for any distribution company that sits in between the maker and a retailer, there's usually distributors that bring things around. Like, these guys will go and they'll try to get them. Well, here in Asia, they're so popular that the Asian distributor will come in and go, hey, I'll take them all. No. Yeah. What? Like, yeah, just give me all. What do you have, 1,000? Cool, I'll take them. In fact, what's your next order? I'll take those too. So they're already snatching them all up. They stay here. They never leave because you guys know GBBers are crazy popular. You need a lot of mags to be competitive. You need like 6 or 8. You need extras because the things leak, they break, all the spare parts. So by the time you think about, let's say as a player, you want to buy for every new GBB rifle that's sold, you need at least 4 or 6 of these things to be competitive. And in the Asian market, they're making thousands of GBBR rifles, GBBRs all the time, every year, yep. Thousands and thousands and thousands. And even if they can make, let's say 1,000 rifles are made, if you made 5,000 mags, that's all, they're gone, right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. Outside of just, still we have supply chain issues, but you're right. Outside of that, we try to get as many as we can as well, and just like, let's say an entity like my former employer at Red Wolf. I mean, they sell to so many people around the world. Just imagine the volume they have to carry. Right?
Yeah.
So. I mean, and it's not just for one platform. So that's like multiple platforms of gas blowback companies or manufacturers, multiple styles of guns, right? So it's just it's really hard to put a definitive. This is the reason, but these two are definitely contributing reasons as to why there's a magazine scarcity right now. Now, fingers crossed, this kind of gets smoothed out with so many of these countries that do primary manufacturing, like Taiwan, has eased up a lot of the restrictions.
Yeah.
So hopefully that does start to see some kind of easing of supply chain issues. Then we'll have a higher volume to be able to send this overseas. But right now, that's probably the reason.
But I still don't think you're going to see, and again, this is another reason too, like to take the States, right? With GBBRs being near, I'd say pseudo not legal, because
I think like it'll be more pistols back in the US, right?
Right, but specifically like GBBRs, like the M4 type style gas airsoft magazines. That if you're a dealer, if you're a retailer, let's say you're a retailer and you can have access, or you're a distributor and you have access to even buy these things, you're not selling the platform, so why would you carry the mags? And I think that's from a purchasing agent, because there's purchasing agents. These guys, like,
Yeah.
they look and they buy. They have like X number of money to work with, and they have to make their buying decisions, right? And those be like, well, I don't need those because we don't have the main. We don't have the main product that this is an accessory for. So why are we going to sell the main product if we don't have or the accessory if we don't have the main product, right?
That's true.
I think that's it too. So yeah, it's just kind of like a supply chain thing. It's kind of like a buying decision thing. I'm sure there are some people that do bring them in, and I think maybe, I don't know, it could be like a good little sub market to have if you want to have like GPP supply, and you can start ordering out of Asia, find a couple distributors here and this market in Japan, and just import small amounts in. But again, shipping cost, oh, geez, man, they're crazy. You know, that cost added to those things, and importation fees and tariffs, and it's a lot to it.
Welcome to the Airsoft business stream.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, because we're going to talk about the business side. I mean, like, you start thinking about, like, you might be able to get them for a decent deal, but you're going to have to pay twice the price for them if you do have them in stock. So
that is correct.
Yeah.
So what do we have next? Let's finish off with a strong one.
All right, strong one. Let's see. DJ Liberal says, off topic, congrats, Mark, on making the jump from one awesome gig straight to another. Yeah. What do you think? Okay. All right, here's a good one to end up, and this could be a good one. Reiner Moore asked, do you think there's a market in the U.S. for a U.S.-based / made of a tag-in type product, like the 40 mics and things like that, considering tag-in is based now in Russia, and, well, that's probably absolutely killed the tag-in brand for anywhere in the world at this point. Yeah. So who could step up? Because tag-in was like kind of the de facto, you know,
I mean, pyro. I think we all know who can step up. I mean, you and I both know him. Chris from Enola Gay.
Yeah.
Chris, if you're listening.
Yeah, Chris, bro, huge market void right now. You guys own the smoke world, right? Like, for real, like signal smoke grenade, things like that. Like, you own that market. Now,
if anyone can do it, I think Chris and the boys at Enola Gay can definitely do it.
Because they got their flashes. They have some flashes and stuff. The Enola Gay flash stuff, and that's really good. They need to step up and do a 40 mil like compatible product, because I don't know if, I mean, I met the tagging guys, the owners. They are awesome people. I love those guys. But yeah, like it's gone at this point due to like sanctions and all this stuff. And who knows when it's going to come back, or if.
Yeah, big sad, but that is true. So, you know, if they could do it, that would be great. And, you know, and ending with that, while we're on the US, guys, if you guys don't know, Laylax USA is a real thing, and we will be opening a branch in the US.
I didn't know if I could talk about that yet. That's why I didn't want to bring it up. I was like, can I say this? I don't know. I've known about it.
It is our tagged video on Laylax International. So if you guys haven't
there you go.
Gone to check us out yet, please go to Laylax International on YouTube. Check us out. Learn a little bit more about the operations and our plan for the US market. We don't just want to be another entity there, but we want to be able to, you know, bring you a little bit closer to some of the goodies that we have here in Japan, and be able to be your kind of gateway into not just great upgrade parts, but kind of bring the two airsoft cultures closer together. So not just good products, but like Masaki said in the video, hey, maybe we can do some Laylax events in Japan, in the US as well. So, you know, please follow us on YouTube, and of course all of our socials, Laylax Official on Instagram, and Laylax International on Facebook. We post there pretty much on a daily basis. And if you want the latest updates on what's coming, that's your number one place to go. And if you want to have some cool airsoft content that you can kind of binge watch, go to our channel, Laylax International. And I promise it's not as cringy as before, but still kind of.
It's cringy. slightly less cringy.
Let me just say,
I've noticed that you're less. Yeah, I feel like you're less, and I don't know, I mean, nothing to do with, like, I'm not bagging at all. I feel like you're less scripty.
It's, how do I put it? Like, because it's very difficult to go through like a script with parts and how we want to flow with the channel. With gun reviews, you know, it is very straightforward, right? We need to kind of script certain things out. So it becomes concise when we talk about it, right? But when we talk about parts, there's only so much you can script for an inner barrel, right? So a lot of times you kind of have to give yourself an outline so you stay on point, and then you just kind of not ad lib, but fill in the gaps with your knowledge. And that's why it's really good to have Ryan there, because Ryan's like, you know, a tech. And so we kind of bounce off each other with the technical side and like with my very practical side of like what I've done before in the old place. So, that's kind of the stuff we want to bring to you guys. So subscribe, please.
Yeah.
As they say in Japan, onegaishimasu.
Yeah, whatever you just said. So anyway, I'll be at the Crytac Owners event. So as we continue on, this can be a weekly show, by the way, not with Mark, but if you do want to see Mark weekly with me, and Spy Hunter says, hey, I hadn't seen us in a long time. We actually have our own podcast. We've been doing it for about a year now on the low. It's called Hopped Up Podcast. Oh my God, the chatbot is back.
Oh, and I'm still here. Oh my God.
Wait a minute.
See, guys, it wasn't my fault.
How is this chatbot back? These things are persistent. Put this user in timeout. You're in timeout now, baby. So, and I'm going to...
Did it come in with that, hi boys?
No, it's one of those, you know, best site, you know, whatever. Jeez. These people.
I found this site.
I'm telling you. So yeah, I can't believe I found this. Oh my gosh, these people. We're gonna terrible. So anyway, yeah, Mark and I do a weekly show. It's kind of an oddball time. It's a little early in the morning for some people. We do it on Monday night our time, which would be like Monday morning for everybody else, because we're in Asia. If you're in the West, or Monday afternoon. If you're in the East
Coast, yeah. If you're in the East Coast, you probably catch it maybe on your way to work.
Yeah. So Hopped Up Podcast, you Hopped Up the show. You can just Google Hopped Up and you'll find this blue, kind of a blue logo and all that. And you'll see it weekly. We've done like 54 episodes, I think, 55, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. A
lot. Unless it's like internet failure, the world is coming to an end, or we have some personal things to do. You know, we're pretty awesome.
We've only missed like one or two, I think. We only missed a couple. And I think it was just for some great stuff. So yeah, if you guys want to see Mark and I are on there all the time. And it's like chill. It's not really like airsoft related. It's just like kind of like food, life, travel. It's kind of just chill, hangout stuff. I mean, occasionally we'll talk about airsoft, but it's like usually at the very, very end of the show. We don't really get into that a lot. So it's like off. So that's why it's not like, but if you want to see what Mark and I are doing normally, you know, just kind of chilling. It's a little more relaxed. Usually there's a beverage of sorts involved. So but we've been
now it's water. So
right now it's water because he and I are trying to like cut. We're doing this workout. Then we talk about exercise too. I've been trying to like lose a little bit more weight and get a little more shredded for the owners event. So we got like a 2-month shred going on right now. But you guys don't want to hear that. It's the Airsoft show. We'll talk about that. Join us, Hopped Up the show, Hopped Up Podcast. Just check it out. I'll put a link below this video after we're done with the stream. So. Well, man, it's like 10:30. Yeah, man, I appreciate having you on. Like, it's great for the very first Ask Airsoftology. Now, hey, for those in chat, don't leave yet. So once Mark jumps off, we're going to be doing the Q&A show. So what I'll be doing is like compiling some questions from you in chat that I'll be actually recording for the produced Airsoftology Monday show that we're doing weekly. It's going to be adjusting name a little bit. It's still going to be like the Mondays type Q&A. But I'm going to pull it from you here in chat live. And you'll watch me record. I'll be delivering to the camera. So you kind of get to see the production process of the Q&A and be a part of it too. So anyway, so after Mark leaves, we're going to be doing on that. So that'll be like our thing. Then we'll wrap up the live stream after that.
All right.
But
thanks for having me, everybody. Thanks
Mark,
for putting up with the buzzing sound.
Yeah, I know. Weird, but hey, man, it works. We'll figure it out. Well, it's our very first one. I'm happy that it's as good as it is. So, and I know, and you take your little chat bot with you.
I will.
Your naughty
I'll take my chat bot with me.
I know. Please. Just
all right, man.
Get out, man. Hey, man. Thanks a bunch.
Everybody.
Hey, you guys,
Thanks
check out all of Laylax's products. You can check it out at laylax.com, right?
Yes, lives.com, and don't forget to subscribe. Laylax International.
Yep.
Laylax International. Laylax space International.
And Mark's own personal IG, if you guys want to check it out, it's Real Marck West. That's MARCK West. Check him out.
It's still the same profile picture. So
yeah, still the same profile picture. If you guys followed him before, it converted over. But check him out if you want to follow Mark's personal life journey. He's got everything in there. So
Yeah. I'll see y'all later.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having on, man. I'll see you around.
Bye.
All right. So we are now back. I'm going to close out of all that. And now we are on. Let me move my screens around. So everybody. Cool. So now what we're going to be doing is we are going to be doing the live Q&A. I've never done this. I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to try it. I'm going to try to film the Q&A segment, what I do, the Q&A weekly video live here with all of you here on the channel. So hopefully we can do this. I'm going to record in the camera here, so it won't look like what you see here on the live stream. It's actually going to be produced later on down the road. So what I'm hoping to do in chat with everybody here is if you have some other questions, I'm going to go back through chat. I might be covering some of the questions we've already answered with Mark on this, and then we can also go forward. So if you have any specific airsoft questions, things like that, I really want to cover that GBBR magazine question, because I think that's a pretty good one to cover. Because I think if you're seeing the problem, why, other people are going to be seeing that too. So I think that's definitely one I want to put in the show. Is there anything else that we're doing while you guys are in chat right now, asking those questions? I'm going to go and look at the last Q&A I did. Cool. See, let's you live video of the week would be killer. Chat recommendation live, and oh yeah, that could be neat. Let me look. So while we're doing this, I'm going to go on to studio. I'm going to look at the last Q&A I did a while back and then start to pull a few questions from that one too, because I do want to pull in from the old one. We're going to be doing as well, but I want to take most of the questions from you guys and gals here. Let me find it. God, you know how long it's been? Let me see. Do I even count that one? The end of Airsoftology? When is my last Q&A? That's embarrassing. It's been like a year. Wow. All right, so I will look at that one. And that one is, it's almost been a year. Oh my gosh. That's a long hiatus, everybody. We're long overdue. Let me look at this video. Hopefully it's not. Let me see. Any good questions there? And I'm going to look this while you guys are doing it. Let's see. Close that out. Also, let me see what we got. Favorite gas blowback. Hutch got one. Favorite gas blowback brand. Jaloo, live video of the week. Starseed, yeah, man. The Monday morning coffee thing. I know you're always on with the coffee. And by the way, some people in chat here have been like absolute crazy loyal Hopped Up podcast followers for a very long time. So it's been pretty cool with that. So if you have any questions, don't be shy, chat, by the way. Let's see. I'm going back up. So we have specific with the airface. Paul, Classic Army X Series M15A4, go back in 2012. Wow, man, that is. And you got a Crytac rotary hop-up. What hop-up chamber do you recommend as an upgrade on that one? Crytacs, you're going to be able to use any of the CNC stuff, by the way, Paul. So if you want to jump in on their new thing, Laylax's new one, you can get pretty much any of the other CNC'd ones out, like the Max or the Pro Win, if you can find a Pro Win right now. Any of those will work. I would probably, if you're going from a Crytac rotaries are pretty darn good. If you're working in there, I always like Crytac rotary hop-ups. You can use even the standard Laylax. You can go, or Lilacs, you can use the upgraded new CNC one. Or I would say, you can do that. If you can't find it, look at the other ones. But you might be okay with what you have in there right now. I really feel like the Crytac one is pretty dang solid. Let me look. Yeah, the tag-in one. Ryder, you know what? I might cover your... Let me do this. I'm going to take some notes. You get to see, by the way, this is going to be a little less exciting. I don't know, you might enjoy this. You get to kind of see what I do. So what I'll do normally before I do a Q&A show is I will go through a series of questions, and I try to do it just before I film. So I don't overthink the questions, and it's a little more natural, I guess, my response. So what I'll do is I'll look at questions from the previous Q&A show, what I used to do, and I would log in, I would just go through and I would pick out about 7 or 8 of them. Is what I would do. And I would actually like just screen capture the actual image of the question. And I would put them into like a little folder, and I would just go through a slideshow, and I would read the question, because you would never see me read it. I would just do I'd put it up on the screen. So I'm reading, and then I would actually deliver to the camera the answer, and I would try to do it impromptu, so I wasn't overthinking or sounded scripted or anything like that. So actually, it was weird. I really never would prep for a Q&A show at all, like ahead of time. Like I would sit down, look at the questions, and within 15 minutes be filming. It's probably one of the shortest production times of a video. But then I would go back after I had like 8 or 9 questions I would answer, and I would chop them down to like maybe 3 for the show. I would do the Q&A or the video recommendation of the week, which I won't be doing in this one. Not right now. I might bring that back. So let's look. So Lou. Let's see. Reiner's asking about tagging. Let me get your exact question. Do you think US maker of tagging like products? Get to hear me talk to myself too. Yes, I talk to myself a lot. It's fine if you talk to yourself. It's not good if you answer yourself. I think that's the problem there. And oh, thank you. I forgot to unmute you guys. It's like, thanks. Like, mute it. I love chat. You guys are so awesome. Like, I'm all of a sudden like, you're on mute. So yeah, what I'll do is also the state of airsoft is what I was saying. I think I was still muted then. I hit mute so I would cough in your guys' ear. So I want to talk about that state of airsoft because that's a really good question. I'm going to be doing a standalone video. What I was saying when I was so stupidly muted on the state or the effects of the recession on airsoft. From me being over here in Taiwan, I can kind of see what's going on with purchasing habits of companies, what's happening with major shops, major distributors, what they're buying, what they're not, specifically what they're not, pulling back. And I want to have a standalone video on that. So it'll be a pretty interesting one. And I'm trying to do my homework on this one. So this isn't going to be like a quickie where I can just shoot off the cuff. So I'm going to do it like, Ja, I like your question a lot about the state of airsoft with, is it like the move towards speed soft? And I'm questioning, for those of you that play, I know you played your fields. Specifically, I know indoor fields, speed soft is so big. For outdoor fields, though, for someone who hasn't played back in the States in a long time, how does speed soft, because I when I did play before, speed soft was really limited to indoor fields. And here we just have we have one outdoor field. We had one of the indoor fields closed. Speed soft here is big too in Taiwan. There's actually SpeedQB tournaments and teams that compete, and you'll see a lot of people at the fields do it. But from an outdoor field perspective, are you seeing the speed soft players move to outdoor fields now? Because I just don't know if that play style even, it can't really carry over. But are you seeing more people run like the high kappas, with HPA lines and that on outdoor fields? I'm curious. Those of you in chat, anybody in chat, anywhere in the world, I'm curious to hear your experience. Do you see that? Are you seeing people? I mean, people have always run like Polar Stars and Wolverines and things like that, like the GBB or the HPA rifles. But I'm talking specifically the high kappa HPA or the Speedsoft type loadouts with maybe a drum mag on a high cap or something like that. Is that something you're seeing at the local fields? So, Chalu, let me look at this. While you guys are answering that or jumping in. So the state of airsoft, move towards Speedsoft. Reiner's the tagging question. Oh, Paul, the question. High kappa where the BBs are catching near the top of the mag, but before the feeding clip. It sounds like you might have you might have to take it apart and clean the channel on that. I think this is a really specific question. So on those mags, you'll have the follower. I would actually take the base plate off. Usually they slide off. You can like pull it up, slide the base plate off, take the spring out, take the follower out, and look to see if there's any cracks or problems with the follower. That's that piece at the top of the spring that pushes the BBs up. You might have like some tears or little spurs on the plastic of that thing, or it could be slightly cracked off. That's causing it to get in there and jam or get stuck. What I would also do is in that channel, because you're going to, like I said, take the plate off. Careful because the spring will shoot out. You'll have a plastic follower that'll come out, and you want to probably just clean that inside there with like a cotton bud with some alcohol. Like get the channel really clean. You might have some debris in there, and then you want to lightly lube it. Now you're gonna have problems shooting your first couple mags. Lightly lube it with something that evaporates like a silicone-like type oil. Don't use petroleum base in that channel, and then reinstall everything. And you might end up in a better case. If you got any spurs on that little plastic follower, that's the piece that is literally pushing up against the BBs. You got all the BBs here, and it's the part that just pushes up against it. The part you have to take your finger and pull down, then the springs behind it. If there's any kind of spurs on that, take some sandpaper, like a fine grit sandpaper, and sand that down, and it should be smooth again. I think that should be probably solve your problem. It sounds like it's catching on something in there. It could be some rough metal in there. It could be just debris or dirt. It could be a little bit of rust, which I doubt, because usually they use like an alloy, a zinc alloy, so those shouldn't rust. But, check those out. Could be rust from the springs. The springs are steel. So check all that out. Take it apart. Do a quick clean. Alcohol first. Silicone only, and a light amount, maybe on that cotton bud. Run up the channel. Be prepared for your first couple mags out to shoot like trash, because you're going to have a little residual silicone on the BBs as they go up and feed through, and it'll kind of get on your bucking a little bit. Just give it an overnight to dry out. You'll be fine after that. All right. So Luke's you're seeing a lot of HPA LMGs. I'll tell you what, man, LMG HPA is the way to go. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you, like, the HPA LMG is legit. Probably if I'm gonna go back to running LMGs, I would do that. Like, I see Alphonse do that sometimes in his games. That just to me seems like, I mean, I always been a big fan of Daytona. Like, if you guys know the Daytona gun, like, they always had like a little bit of recoil to them, and super cool for an LMG platform. I think it just is pretty neat, and I'm looking forward to the VFC one. If you guys haven't seen VFC's new, they got the MG4 and they got the Mark 48. They're both basically the same platform. The thing weighs almost nothing. Holds 6,000 BBs in the box mag. 6,000, and like there's 5,000 in the box mag and 1,000 more internally in the actual, like, you flip the dust gun, you pour them in and just close the cover. I would love to HPA one of those. I think that thing is just begging to be HPA'd, and it's going to be so flippin' awesome. Trevor, when do you think we'll see a new lineup from Crytac? You know what? We've been seeing some products. So we saw the P90 from Crytac came out. I think was one of their more recent projects, but we haven't seen much more come from them. And I'm really curious. I'm gonna have a chance to talk to them in person. I know some of the guys there. I've actually pretty good friends with a few of their guys, including their product manager. Crytac is traditionally very tight-lipped on their projects. So even me, if I do know, I literally have like a non-disclosure sign with them that I can't talk about it. That said, I can probably tell you I don't know. Not that I can't talk about it. I really would like to see, because I mean, they released the LVOA. They did the Barrett line for EVIC. They did that Barrett license project. Was it the Rec 4? They did for them, but that's just, another M4 with just a different label on it, right? The P90 was super cool, like absolutely super cool. I think that was probably one of their pinnacle products that slid under the radar, I think, because the Marui P90 was so prevalent, and then Novrich released his around like the exact same time. But I think that was probably the more underappreciated Crytac projects. But aside from that, I feel like Crytac has, like, their quality is so good. I mean, those guys make like chef's kiss good. And I would love to see them make more stuff. I'd love to see a Crytac AK, even though I don't know how many people run AKs. I would love to see them branch out into some more licensed stuff, get into like working with maybe some other companies, but I don't know. They're kind of a standalone. They're part of their own. They're part of Chris. I don't know. I'd love to see them get into some crazy stuff. All right, let's see. All right, Ryan, cool. Ryan's also asking, Ryan, you get some good ones. In the real steel world, optics ready pistols are the norm. Will airsoft manufacturers catch up with the real steel standardization? I think we're seeing that. I've got like the Navrich, the SSP5. They're doing the optics. I'm, I don't know. I think for me, the way airsoft is, you may not see it as prevalent as you do in the real world. In the real world, there's a lot of benefit to having that red dot. In airsoft, I mean, you do get the same benefit, but I think there's a downside. One, they can get shot out. I mean, let's face it. It's like if you're playing, you're popping that out the corner, you got the glass and, crashed. Um, Two, you have to make a platform because airsoft doesn't have the power, right? Like we only have so much power to move that slide back and forth. And most, if you're going to make it like the real world, the red dot's going to sit on the part of the slide that reciprocates, that moves back. So now you've got to like change your power because otherwise it's going to feel a little sluggish. I know it's kind of hard to describe. Like if you put that side on, you're adding weight that moves in the slung, we call slung weight or whatever, like in a car, right? Like sprung and unsprung weight, like, heavy wheels on a car make a big difference versus the weight of the car. So in this case, you're adding a lot of weight to your wheels, the part of the slide that moves back. And every time you pull the trigger, it sends some gas down the barrel to push the BB out and sends some gas out the back to move that slide to make it come back. So what happens is when you add that weight on there, instead of it going boom really fast and like just slamming back in, it will kind of feel a little sluggish, a little sloppy because it's having to move more weight, right? It's trying to lift more. So I think you need to, manufacturers either have to like make them that way out of the box, which will maybe raise the price too high. I don't know. There's a lot of things involved. I think pricing's a big concern, especially right now with everything going with the kind of the potential recession, inflation, and all those shuns that are happening. I personally like red dots, even though I don't use them that much because I just don't like the downside of having the issue with the slung weight. But let's see. All right, red dots. Yeah, GHKs, man. I still need to get a hold of one of those GHK G17s. Those things. I want to get a hold of them. I saw them years and years ago. They finally released. They cost a fortune, but still want to check it out. Yeah, oh, SPR, man. SPRs are awesome, Comcol. I miss my SPR, like for real. So I might be a American Laowai in Taiwan. Yeah, I'm the white Gora in here. It's like you lived in Taipei 20 years ago. Exchange professor. Yep. Oh, at University of Taipei. Nice. Yeah, Taiwan. I really like it here a lot. It's like got a pretty good cost of living. Everybody's friendly here. The food is so good. Like absolutely so good. Um, yeah, my Mandarin. I've been here like almost 5 years almost, and my Mandarin's still trash. It's so bad. I mean, I can order food, I can get around, I can have basic conversation, but yeah, it's not where it needs to be. Not for being here 5 years. It should be better. It's funny, Luke. I kind of want to. That might be part of. Let me just actually. You know what, Luke? I like that question too. I think we got our three now. So we got State of Airsoft as a move to our spray syrup, U.S. maker tagging on the products, and Luke with, let's see, the effects of the pandemic on airsoft. Let's see, media present. I'll talk specifically about media. And I'll kind of give you my perspective from a media standpoint of what's going on. There's a couple big pieces about this, and I'll answer it live. Essentially, it's products, a bit of reduced YouTube rev, but not real. I don't know. It's a little different. I'll explain to you my perspective on that. I think this is a good question, like the whole media effects. But yeah, actually, but back to the Taiwan thing, I really enjoy it here. Like it's a lot of fun. I think Taiwan's becoming more and more the hub of airsoft for Asia, especially with Hong Kong being locked down for so long, especially with mainland China, the same situation. A lot of the restrictions on airsoft in mainland China, manufacturing, things like that. A lot of the Hong Kong makers have moved here. Quite a few of them have. So it's pretty exciting to be here and be at least close to this stuff and get first crack at it. So All right, let me make sure. Jalou, yeah, you had speed softers outdoors. Let me see. Really hard running. So you are seeing that, Jalou. Okay. Interesting. Oh my God, is this chatbot back? No way. What is going on? Do you guys see this chat? How do these people? I'm telling you. Yeah, Mark's sitting in the office laughing right now. You know he just made that account. Like for real. How like you want to talk about YouTube frustration? How can YouTube? A little rant for a moment before we start recording. How can YouTube have such a great platform? The second you talk about anything that's bad, if I like say something bad, their algorithm will pick it up and I'll get some notification like, oh, you know, talk to the CDC or whatever underneath this. Or I've seen people get Livestream stomped just for things they've said, things like that. You know, so like all these things. Yet the spam accounts are everywhere. And literally the name of the chatbot is like chat-69 best. I mean, like how can you not stop that? And then all the Telegram scammers. Have you guys seen these? I'm sure you have on every one of your YouTube channels you probably watch. I'll get them under all my videos like daily. The Telegram's like, oh, like they'll create an account with my name, my channel name, and then add like @Telegram. And they're like, hey, congratulations, you won some contest, right? And they're like, message me on Telegram. And it's so frustrating because I mean, those people, and what's bad is I know people are interacting with them, which I wish they wouldn't. Cause like for example, if you look at chat right now, like Scott, who's US Airsoft, is in chat. He's got a good channel. He's a huge channel. He's verified like me. He's gonna have a checkbox like that. He's gonna be highlighted with a checkbox. So like when you're interacting with someone like him, where he's in chat, even him in the chat here has his name highlighted with a checkbox next to it. So it shows that he's verified. He's the real US Airsoft. You're not dealing with a scam account. And under his videos, or if he comments on mine, that checkbox follows him, that blue check or the highlighted check. So the people, I guess, I mean, I don't know, maybe just don't understand verification, are still like interacting with these. And I get messages like, hey, like somebody sent me like a bunch of stuff on like IG saying that they talked to them. I feel like I end up spending probably 20, 30 minutes a week talking to people in DMs that are like, oh yeah, I heard I won a contest. I'm like, oh my God, no, you got scammed. You know, like don't interact with those people. So yeah, Hutch. Hutch, I've covered that. I definitely have strong personal feelings on that topic. However, I'm just I won't probably talk to him in live chat because the 50 Cent Army shows up and yeah, I've had them, by the way, I've had the 50 Cent Army show up on I did a video of why I moved to Taiwan, just not to get political. I said the country of Taiwan, and which in my opinion it is, then the 50 Cent Army showed up and they're probably going to show up now because I even said that. And it was like, I had to deal with like all these accounts of like just them attacking me for even saying that. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Use Airsoft. I mean, people fall for these things all the time. Those Telegram, like, yeah, they'll say you won something. They're like, oh, you won something. It's like, oh, just pay the shipping fee or whatever it is. So whatever you do, for real, don't interact with anybody. I never do contests in chat, period, ever. So if there's a contest, it'll be handled probably on my website, airsoftology.com or something like that. It will not be in chat ever. So yeah, big brain. Actually, I did a video on like the mistakes. My last video was the top mistakes Airsoft new players do, and they always buy like high-end guns, things like that. And in there, I do talk about good anti-fog face pro, eye pro, like have some kind of good face protection so you're more confident. Eye pro that's anti-fog so you can actually see what the heck's going on. Got some really good hot takes in there too. I like some of the interaction of people that agreed with some of the things I said and disagree with some of the things I said, and that's what I like. That I am not the absolute authority on Airsoft by any means. A lot of things I do is just my opinion, right? And it's really good to see the interaction in chat. And I always encourage discussion. If you don't agree with me, please say it. I'm not going to like make you look dumb down there at all because I'm not the smartest person in the room. Like we all have great opinions. And that's why I like working and communicating with you guys. And that's why I really like this live chat, because it lets me interact more with you and get a feel. Like, for example, just what's going on with airsoft in the fields and the speed softers, like, Big Brain was just saying, like, what he's seeing, or he or she, I don't want to assume gender, what they're saying at their field with the speed soft players. And like, I'm trying to think, like, does it work? How does it apply? I'm just thinking of like all the fields I play at, and it might work, it might not. I don't know. Hang on, let me clear my throat. Not on the mic. I'll unmute this time, I promise. Oh, US Airsoft's asking, and we'll do this one, and then I'll jump into my filming. What would hey, this is a good one for like everybody in chat. The 5 replicas you wish you could have. If it's stuff that's made already, I really want that PDRC from PTS. That little, looks like a Halo gun almost. A little PDW they have, the little bullpup. That is so, I don't know why, I've just loved that. It takes M4 mags. It's like the coolest little thing. Every time they come for sale, I always miss it. They do small releases. I think it's made by KWA. So it's good quality. That would be one. I would love to see a gas blowback AK-12. That'd be number 2. Let's see what else. I'm trying to think of some really cool ones that aren't out there right now. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Andrew's asking about the Silverback Airsoft Desert Tech MDR. I know, right? We'd love to see that one made. That one's been in, who knows when that's going to come out. Silverback, they kind of seem to be on their own timeline. I got to give everybody some benefit of the doubt. Like, production schedules have been just slaughtered here in Asia with getting materials, cost of materials, everything. Oh my gosh. What else? I'm trying to think. So those are 2. What's another one that's not out right now that I would love to see? I'm not going to lie. I know you're going to laugh at me. You're going to totally laugh. Anything Kel-Tec. And I know, but the whole point of this, now let me preface this. I would love to see an Airsoft Kel-Tec made better than a real one, which I don't think would be hard to do. But that said, I would love to see like a proper, like full Kel-Tec lineup. Like somebody to get the Kel-Tec license and just run with it and make it just amazing. So that I would say like number 3 would be like anything Kel-Tec. Comcol, that SIG MP, that SIG and PX CQB. Well, it's not a SIG. It's who's making that? XY. Who's that company? It's like out of nowhere. There's like this one. If you guys and gals don't know, there's like a unlicensed version of the MPX floating around Asia. It's a GBB, and it's pretty darn well made. It's made by, I don't know what the name of the company is going. It's like brown boxed. Yeah, it's whatever. Whoever's making it. It came out of absolutely nowhere. No one's claiming ownership. Like I'm here and I can't find out anybody who's claiming ownership. And they were like a limited release, but it looks so hot. Like, dear Sig Sauer, find them. Don't get mad at them. Just like work a deal with them. Make it happen. Oh my gosh. Hey, they're back. All right. Jeez, man. These guys. All right. Yeah, Kel-Tec, I'm telling you, that's it. Okay, another thing I would like to see, and to finish up Scott's, I don't know if it's 3 or I'll give you 4. Something to replace that shotgun that Airsoft Innovations was making, but not to that level because that thing was like savage. The I forget what's it called? Ended up never getting released, and then sadly Airsoft Innovations went bankrupt or closed or whatever. I would love to see a very effective HP. I would love to see someone take like the Marui system, find an effective HPA internal tank, multi-shot spread, variable power level. Okay. Fun fact about, like Scott said, USAS 12. Fun fact about the USAS 12. I was in high school. My buddy of mine, his dad was the distributor for the USAS 12 at the United States. He was literally one of my high school friends. His dad was legit an arms dealer, like actually owned an arms distribution company. And one of the coolest things was back then, he was like, "Hey, do you want to go shoot it?" I'm like, so imagine like 16-year-old Jonathan, right? Like I weighed 100, like I don't even know my kilos. I can't do the kilo version. I think I weighed like 145 pounds back then. I was so scrawny. And going full auto on a USAS 12. He also brought in the 40 millimeter. He did the 40 millimeter vehicle mount grenade launchers. Like, and I remember going to his house. In his dad's bedroom, there was a 40 millimeter grenade launcher just sitting in the bedroom floor on the tripod in the bedroom, just on the floor, like just there. I'm like, is that real? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you be kidding me? He's like, nope, it's real. I mean, for real. It was like the wildest, like the most surreal thing as like a high school kid. I was an ROTC back then. I never served in the military. Like going to this guy's house, and I'm like, and that's when I was like, what does your dad do? He's like, oh, he owns this company. I won't say the name of the company, but if you guys do research, I grew up in Nashville, and they had the rights for the U.S. distribution for the USAS 12 and the Marck, the Mark, whatever that is, the fully automatic military. So he sold to the military only because it's a fully automatic 12 gauge shotgun. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's my grenade launcher. I'm like, just seeing it in his bedroom is like, just so, I'm like, is that a replica? I was like, no, that's a real thing. Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you that Flak 10, so Carlton, who's the guy behind Airsoft Innovations, RIP, not RIP Carlton, RIP Airsoft Innovations, because man, the tornadoes and all the stuff they made, so good. He was always pushing the boundary of what you could do in Airsoft. And I think it's a huge loss that company's not in business anymore, because as much as he would release things that could be very controversial, like the 40 mic that was like a BBOs, and then the Flak 10. Thank you for the name. I told him my name was like, brain was just shot. Like, can't think of the name. I really thought he was pushing the envelope. I mean, he came out with like really the first operable Airsoft BB grenade. The Honey Badger, was Aries made one a long time ago. I got to shoot one at a SHOT Show, because I don't think it ever came out. So I don't think it's ever licensed. What was it like? Who did it? O Project or something actually had the Honey Badger. It was never really like a company. I think it was part of like EOTech or something like that. Oh, how'd you live in Nashville? Awesome, man. Did you go to the reopening, grand reopening in Nashville Airsoft? I didn't. Of course, I'm other side of the planet. I got invited. I've been talking to Eric at Nashville Airsoft. I think he's the shop manager there, the site manager. They're under new ownership. My buddy Josh used to own the place. And that's where I got my start, was Nashville. I used to play at Bad Karma and all that. That was like my first field. And I've still, believe it or not, I've never played at Nashville Airsoft, because back when I was there, Nashville Airsoft was just a shop. Never got the chance to play at their field. So when I'm back, okay, fun thing. Pay attention to Nashville Airsoft. I will be back in late December, so probably early January, like Christmas-ish. Into early January till about mid-January, I'll be back in the States, and I will be in Nashville from around Christmas time to about mid-January. I think January 14th. I return back here to Taiwan, something like that, 13th, 12th, somewhere in there. And I will be at Nashville Airsoft. I'm working out, trying to get times with him and everything so I can come by. We can do like a little meet and greet, things like that. Just hang out, have fun. I'll come play. So yeah, like seriously, like I'll be there in a couple months. So, and just, I've not told anybody this, so hey, here we're on the show, let you guys know. I'll be at Nashville Airsoft at some point, but I haven't hammered out the fine details of when. So, oh yeah, man, you get the vid, yeah, that happens. I did too when I was in the States. It stinks. SIG MG68, it's too new for Airsoft. I would love to see all the new SIG stuff too. God, that'd be good. Gen 12, yeah, Grand Thumb, pretty much like you're right. Anything Grand Thumb, I would love to see. Like anything Grand Thumb does. You know what I would love to see? And it's out there in GBB form. Was it Northeast Airsoft makes it, or Northwest, Northeast? I always forget. Simon, I know the guy. They make the Uzi. I would love to see, and they do a GBB Uzi, and the thing is so good. They did super limited release. I don't know what's happening with the next release. I need to check in with him on that. Steel, it's awesome. I would love to see an AEG Uzi that's made right. Because like Marui made one. It's one of Marui's first releases they did decades ago. And I would love to see someone come back with like a proper Uzi. Like proper AEG Uzi. All right. So let's see. So many fake brands in Airsoft, no manufacturing. I'm reading like that. Yeah. Umarex, just a brand. Umarex Matrix, Novrich, all the Eagle stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be honestly like there's a lot of like, okay, so you look at Umarex. Umarex is a license holding company, right? So work license deals with major manufacturers. They do have their house brand in the States called Elite Force, but they work license deals. So it falls under their brand because of the license deal. They have to distribute under their name. It has to be under their brand. So it is theirs. So that's why you see like a company like Umarex that holds licensing distribute under their brand. Of course, nobody manufactures. You go ones like Matrix. Yeah, you look at Matrix. That's like a house brand for Evic. So that's going to be their house brand. So they're going to have all the manufacturers. Navrich, of course, goes and does the same thing. There's really very few people that are, when you talk about a brand, that are pure. I think the biggest one that comes to mind is G&G. Like they do all their stuff in house. They're tip to toe, the end to end, the same company. Another one's LCT. I think they handle all their distribution too. And ICS, I think, does a pretty solid job at that as well. So those are the three. Yeah, exactly. AG, come cool. AG Uzi that works, because the Maru one was trash. It was pure trash. And I would love to get an AG Uzi that works, like properly works. Oh man. Okay, well, let me do this. I'm going to get this thing going. So looks like I got to go back through chat. And this will be like, you'll see, I'll do it in like little chunks so we can interact in between each question. So we'll do that. What's this? I saw something pop up from KJXS Studios. If you could predict the next Tokyo Marui standard compatibility, what would it be? I think they're going to ride that MWS train. They have really hit it so well with the MWS system. And I think you're going to see a lot of re-releases under the Marui name that are MWS versions. I think you're going to see that system transfer over. There's the aftermarket community is already like just all over the MWS. Like they're just jumping on it. So I think you're going to see them continue to develop there. The problem with Marui is they just kind of do their own thing. They kind of release in their own timeline. There's really no, like, honestly, like system to what they do. So it's really interesting. Oh, G28, yeah. God, they come out with the G20. G28, I think, was a really tough one because it didn't sell that well. I think because it's so flippin' big that big brain. You're asking this question. It was so big that they didn't. There's only so many users that could do it and use it, and I think it's a great platform. I don't know. I don't think there's any right now any of that in the industry. But back to the whole fake brands thing for Ilra. It wouldn't be suicide. I would have to do one of those like Always Sunny in Philadelphia like charts, like a Charlie chart, to show the like what how everybody's who makes what with who. Like I said, Matrix will work with a ton of companies to make their house brand stuff. And a lot of companies, when they get big enough, they'll do house brand stuff. I mean, that's just pretty much anybody out there. They have to. I mean, you even look at let's go as big as like Nike. I mean, they use dozens of different factories to make their shoes. They design them, they spec them out, which is the same thing like Umarex and Matrix and all them, but they have everybody else make it for them. I mean, even Apple's using different companies to make their stuff. There's very few people that have their own factory and makes it. Paul, okay, you're the one. I think I saw something about that. Somebody stole your OG Tactic Corgi. Man, I think I've got like one. I only have like one left of those. I always keep like one of each patch I make. I could re-release the OG Tactic Corgi. I could do like a limited release, maybe like 100 pieces. You know how many times I've heard of people having their stuff stolen? Like, so if you guys don't know, I do patches. It used to be just under Airsoftology. Now I've changed the brand. So now it's patchfiend.com. And that, by the way, you want to support the channel? It's a fantastic way to do it. Go check out some really cool patches there. Also, I'm on Amazon. So it's amazon.com/patchfiend. They're out there. So you can get Amazon. Everything's Prime. So if you're on Prime on Amazon, you can just click it and buy it. If you're in the States and get delivered Prime like a day or two later, I've got it all up there. So it's all Prime. So it's free shipping. Or if the shipping works out better, if you're buying multiples, you may want to check out patchfiend.com. Because it's like I do flat rate shipping on there. So especially if you're international, I do it all on there. And I think it's like $6.99 international shipping. So, and that's flat rate total. So if you want to pick up some patches, you can do it. Shameless plug here if you want to support the channel. But yeah, I did the OG Corgi. I think don't have any OG corgis. I just did a husky. Kind of, what is it, this one? Focus. Yeah, I did the Siberian Husky. I don't know if the timing's good for this design or not. And I got some other funny ones. I got some that'll probably get me demonetized if I show you those. They're kind of wandering the naughty world, some sayings and stuff like that. Oh, the Kalashnikov USA Chaos. Didn't think about that. I'm jumping back in the chat. HK 433. Yeah, I like to see some classic stuff. GB Rattler from SIG, that'd be good. But yeah, back to the OG Corgi. You know what? I could re-release those. I got the art. I'll maybe go back. I don't even think I'm using the company that made those anymore. I don't think I have a mold open. But I could do it. Yeah, I could totally do that. Yeah. Oh, Going Bork. Let me answer yours because I want to get you because I just saw your name pop up. I was wondering if you could answer a question. If I buy from something from Taiwan, will they paint the tip? Because by law, you will need to tell them to do that. Chances are they're going to take it and ship it. They can export it no problem without the orange tip. If customs in the States gets your item and you just happen to get rando inspected, then you will have it taken. It's gone because it won't have the orange tip, or you'll have to go and pick it up in person. It's going to be a nightmare, right? So importing to States, you will need orange tip. What I would do is if you're going to buy something directly from one of the shops, stick with one of the bigger shops. I don't know if you're looking at like Kuai or KIC. Those are pretty good ones. They're big retail shops here. Kuai, let them know in the comments, like say, hey, please paint the orange tip. You can also call the shop, believe it or not, or email them. I do go to both of those. They have a lot, tons of great stuff. Just have them do the orange tip for you. If you do a bigger shop like that, you should be fine. If you're going to order from a site like Red Wolf in Hong Kong, you're totally fine. No problem there. They're going to for sure orange tip it for you. Just check the box for America. There's an orange tip service I think you can do for that. Yep. Let's see. KG, yeah, 8mm, 8mm died. So for those who don't know, haven't been around forever, 8mm airsoft was like a thing. Mainly in the pistols and shotguns. I remember, was it Marusian made these shotguns that were 8mm. They were so awesome. They did like a multi-shot and they were like the big, massive 8mm BBs. It's interesting because if you look at some of the way that the laws in the United States and even Canada now are written, and I got a whole video about C21 coming up with Canada. That's a hot mess for airsoft paintball and everything. The 8mm thing's a little bit of a challenge because you have to, like, the chrono challenge is a bit difficult because the size of the BB changes, like how you would measure velocity and what's your baseline. So you couldn't get a 0.2 gram. So you'd have to do joule conversions on that one. And you have to do some real math because now you're dealing with 8mm. It would work. You'd have to power up for them. I think the problem with 8mm is to get to the velocity. A lot of fields chrono on joule and energy rating. To get to the velocity on an 8mm, because it's going to be larger, obviously heavier mass, and it would definitely be a better platform for sure. Like, more mass, less, effect by air and things like that, and wind and other factors. It would be fantastic. And that's why Navrich did his full thrust kit, which is a 6.54 or something like that, 6.5mm roughly, or 6.8. I forget what size. It was bigger than 6, and they would be a fantastic solution. Absolutely, 8 would be fantastic, but I think you would be at a power level, a joule rating too high to be allowed by fields. So, most fields aren't going to allow it. I mean, here they don't even allow CO2 at fields. So if I have a CO2 gun, I can't even run it. So. Yeah, but 8 would be like a rock. I think by the time you size up to 8 and you put it in like a sniper platform, your joule rating would be just way high. So, Cyrus, do I know any 32-to-1 gear ratio? I don't think anybody's making a factory 32-to-1. Like, I don't even know who would, because that'd be like, factories typically buy their gears or have gear molds and they're going to buy them in bulk, and you'd have to go aftermarket, like, or they have to make their own. I don't think anybody's making a 32-to-1. You're going to have to probably just do it yourself, go to a tech shop and have them upgrade. I just can't think of any any maker that would do that, because they're going to make for like the baseline. And if you're looking for something very specific, either like a super high torque setup or a super high rate of fire setup, both ways off center, you're not going to find a manufacturer that out of the box is going to produce 1,000 of these, because that's what they need to make for a specific use. Yeah, I know it's weird. Like here it's like Grumman Libs. Yeah, the CO2 thing for here in Taiwan. I mean, it's so warm, so not having CO2 is not a big deal. But back in the States, like right back in Nashville, where I'm from, or anywhere, if you didn't have CO2, yeah, you're right. You'd have half the year to maybe use it. It's really weird too, because I was doing an APS. APS had a CO2 shotgun that you like would fill up with a tank, like CO2 in it, and they wouldn't even let me use that because the power was too low if you try to run green gas in it. Yeah, you're gonna have to build your own, man. Like, it's really, like, I don't think anybody's gonna run those kind of gear ratios. Sorry, I'm jumping around through chats. I'm kind of answering everybody as chat rolls in. So while we're doing this, I'm going to mic up while I'm talking. You guys get to see me record, and then we're gonna record because I've got some really good questions, and then we'll kind of wrap up the show. So now you get to see what it's like. I'll probably mess up some stuff. Pretty good at messing up. All right, mic in. By the way, I don't know if you guys, anybody here does media stuff. I got the new DJI mic. So it's got up here on my camera, I've got a little receiver. I'm not using it yet. I'm using this right now. But when I record, it'll be in this. This little thing, these like double, so good. Like, this is like the best thing. Like, that's the transmitter kit. I got a little lavalier for it. Super good. Let me turn this one on. Hang on. Where's the power button? There. Yeah, the DJI, like their mic, I didn't think their mic was going to be this good. And what's super cool about this, just being a geek in audio and just computer, like camera junk, that this has memory inside. And you can hit a record button. The record button's like right here on the side. There's two buttons. It's kind of the top one, the oval one there says record. I mean, kind of, which way's up? There, that way's up. There's like a record button on it, and you can record into this and through the camera. It's like I'm going into the camera, and it all goes on a memory card. But wireless connection between the two, I've got audio here, or there's like trash signal or something like that. So then I can just plug in via USB-C and pull the files straight off here. So like right now I can just go, boop, record. And now there's a little red light. I'm recording on this and recording, well, into there. So it's super cool. All right, let's do this. All right, so the questions I'm going to answer is Jalu, the state of Airsoft, moving forward towards Speedsoft, and I'll have to go back and chat and I'll find those. Reiner, U.S. maker of Tag and Products, and Luke, Riot, media reduced in Airsoft. Okay, we'll do those three. Yeah, U.S. Airsoft, for real, like, if you, I'm going to tell you, don't even, like, I have the Rode Go. I used to love that. Don't waste your time or money on the Rode Go. Yeah, don't waste it. And you don't even need this lavalier. I mean, I like it because, like, the little mic box itself has a built-in mic. Like, you can do it. Now, you don't need, like, the wire. I think it helps for me, but, whatever. I've got that and a little one that plugs in, and it works with your phone too. It has a little adapter tip, so you have it like plug in here, which is just a regular jack, and then it comes with an Apple adapter. Like, I'm doing an ad for DJI, an Apple adapter, a lightning port, and then the USB-C. And you can, the little receiver box up there, you can just change the tip out on it, and either it's a clip, which is what I have there, so it clips into a little hot shoe, and then the two other ones will plug right into your phone. So I can use this to do like live streams on my phone. I can use it to shoot like, reels or shorts or whatever. Super cool. I've used it a couple different times now to film even my last video. Yeah, we'll geek out on tech and stuff because that's like awesome. And so, all right, let me get going. So let's start this. I'll do an intro. So what'll happen, I'll start recording, which you guys won't even know. I'm gonna be delivering straight into the camera, and then I just kind of chop it up into segments. So it'll look a little choppy, and then you guys get to see what it looks like on the back end. So, all right, let's start the recording up here. Make sure the stream doesn't die. Because it's funny, when I hit record, I lose, if I'm running out, I lose the visibility to see myself. Like I can't. I have to like look at the screen now to see myself. It's really weird. All right. Let's see. Pull this way so I can see chat. All right. Make sure I'm centered. I can't see myself. All right. Get this out of the shot. So, I'll leave it in the shot. Why not? Everybody, welcome back to the Airsoftology Q&A show. I know we called it Mondays before, but now we're going to be kind of switching gears. It's going to be the Ask Airsoftology show because for those of you that are watching live, that's right, live, there's a bunch of people. I've been having a fantastic conversation for like the past hour and a half or more, actually almost 2 hours, with the live audience doing a live stream. We're actually recording this live. So if you want to watch the full live stream, it's up on the channel under the live broadcast, but this is going to be the produced segment that you're going to see the Q&A. So what I've done is I've taken questions from the live chat. Now going forward, I will be pulling questions from below this video as well as live chat. So if you can't make the live chat, don't worry. Just ask your question to have answered by me, or we're going to discuss it on the show as well with the live audience. I'll have answered on the show. Put it below here in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to help you out, or more than, see, I mess up. I always mess up. I told you guys. I'll be more than happy to help you all out with your airsoft questions and help you navigate this world of airsoft. So this one, I've got some 3 really fantastic questions to get going on this one. I think these are fantastic to talk about the future state of airsoft, what's going on currently in 2022, if you're going to watch this, but this is something that's going to apply beyond. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, this episode is sponsored by patchfiend.com, but more on that later. Let's now dive on into what you're really here for, and that's your questions in the live Ask Airsoftology chat. All right, now, Chalu, let me find you. Where is your actual question in here? So now I'm in between. I'm going to have to dig your question up so I can read it off the screen. All right, here we go. I found you. All right. And sorry, chat. I'll catch up with you, chat. I promise. Here we go. Jalu asks, what's your take on the current state of airsoft? It's been a while since I've heard you speak, and it feels like casual airsoft might be losing momentum while SpeedQB is gaining it. So yes, that has been a big trend. And we were talking about this in the live chat right before the show. And I'll kind of give you some feedback of what everybody here has been seeing. What we're seeing is if you're at an indoor field, by and far, it is becoming speed soft. And I think if you go back 3-ish years, I think, kind of rewind a bit, a lot of fields, at least specifically me speaking for US and even here in Taiwan where I live, were very resistant of the speed soft move. They were really pushing back. There was a hard push from field owners not really wanting to incorporate speed soft into their world and end up with having to deal with speed soft, having to deal with the challenges and the aggressive play style. Because let's face it, some of the more professional or more advanced speed soft players can be hyper aggressive. They're going to run HPAs, their platforms are going to be shooting a lot of BBs a second, and a lot of players are having bad situation. And if you own a field as a field owner, you need all your players to come back. You want everybody to show up, including the newer players. Specifically in the US, you have a lot of younger players that can play. I mean, you can play, some of these fields will let you play down to 10 years old. And you have one time out there playing, you get stitched up with 20 BBs a second because somebody's just got a hair trigger and it's over. They get they say mag dump on the rentals, right? For those that know. So I think fields were really resistant to allow and embrace speed soft. But I think with things that have changed so much and flash forward a few years, it's become way too prevalent. I think you're seeing a lot of big move to what's making speed soft more accessible for these fields, or at least more palatable, is the move from the primary HPA long rifle platforms to a smaller platform of using the HPA pistols. You've seen a ton of guys and gals out there playing either an HPA tap pistol or a high kappa with like a box mag or something on it, which, while you can overshoot, it's not as aggressive. There's a little different playstyle to it. So I think it's making it a little more accessible, and the shops have found a way to put some revenue behind that. I think because as a field, they also have a shop, and there's a big tuning community. These high kappas, how like the slides cost a fortune. There's a lot of aftermarket parts, a lot of upgrade parts. And before, when you had a, let's say, a Polar Star or like a Wolverine, you'd get the engine, you drop it in, and that was it, right? The shop got one sale, and yeah, they'd fill up your tank full of air and they'd sell you some BBs. But let's face it, these things don't break. And it's really tough for a shop to survive if you're not continually coming back to buy parts and things. And I think when you move to the gas blowback system like the pistols, there's still some maintenance involved in these upgrades and the tuning and all the styling that comes with it, and the ability to make decent money on these slides. There's pretty good profit margins, actually. So I think now that there's money behind it, the shops are getting behind it. Now, what's interesting was I talked in chat with a few of you, and you said you were seeing actually the Speedsoft move to outdoor fields, because I was curious about that aggressive play style, a lot of fast moving. So it's interesting to see that it's moving there. And I kind of want to ask you, watching the show right now, what's your experience with the Speedsoft style play in an outdoor field? And I'm not talking like just the tight, like speakeasy field, like at your outdoor field, but like you have a proper like outdoor field. Let's say there's buildings and stuff. Are you seeing the Speedsoft style play inch into that aggressive play style? Does it work in the outside, or is it still more of that skirmish level play? Because that's something I haven't had a chance to experience. I'm going to be back in the States. Here, you don't see it at all at the outdoor fields. I'll be back in the States coming up toward the end of this year in 2022, and I'm going to be playing indoor and outdoor both. So I'm going to try to see for myself, but I'm curious of what it's like where you live, because I think every market's a little different. So enough about that. I think definitely Speedsoft is here to stay, and it's going to be really hard to uproot it, especially at the indoor fields. I think it's kind of the de facto standard. All right, so question 1 done. Let me go down. Oh my God, the chatbot's back. They're unbelievable. Yeah, so it's 18 and up, right? And it's 18 and up here, like Grumman Lives, same as here, man. Like everything's 18 and up at the fields. So in Taiwan. All right. Let's see, look. Best starter gun for an indoor arena, man. I would grab, if you haven't rented already, rent first. Get in there, start renting. Pulsars, Pulexers, whatever. I would rent first. If not, I would just starter gun. I would get something like a Lancer. Some of the new Lancer stuff's like pretty darn good. Lancer, like a GG combat machine, just something to get you started, like ARP9. Those are great. Something small. Stick with the more affordable until you figure out what you like. I know it's super lame, maybe not the ARP9 from G&G. I would maybe stick with something that's M4 based, and I know it's super cliche, M4, but then you have intercompatibility with magazines. You can borrow from your friends, you can rent, you can pick up extras, and it makes it just easier to start. And your mag pouches are good, because if you do like the ARP9, they have like the thinner mags, and you gotta buy special pouches, and it starts to be a little more complicated at starting. So anyway, I would think that is probably what I'd say to start with. You can start with the pistol too. That works too. But I would say that. Oh, you got Trevor's got an EMG SAI Gray. I have a GBB one somewhere. I think it's back in the States. All right, next question. I'm going to answer this one. Reiner, maker of tag. Okay, let me go find you, Reiner, in chat. Still. Okay, let me ask this. All right, next one up and get some water. All right. Rhinamora asks, do you think there's a market for a US-based, made in USA maker of Taggin light grenades, considered Taggin is based in Russia? So yeah, this is a tough one too. It's really unfortunate because I love the Taggin guys. They're great people. And not to get too political in here, what's going on in Russia, obviously at the time of filming of this video, it's the Ukraine situation. So with that whole war going on, it's a big mess. And obviously nothing's coming out of Russia right now. And in the airsoft world, that impacts Taggin. And if you aren't familiar with what Taggin is, they are a maker of airsoft pyrotechnics. specifically 40 millimeter grenades like that launch that like do some cool things like how on timers it'll explode or do chalk or smoke. They make some like really great like pull pin grenades and things like that. You see them at almost every single Milsim event. They're not cheap, but they're attainable and they just work so good. They're really fantastic. Top tier. These guys are pushing the boundaries of what you can do in that space. The problem is with all the sanctions on Russia and things going on right now, you just can't get this stuff anymore. It's done. It's dried up. It's finished. I mean, I don't see that stuff leaving at all. So there needs to be somebody to step in. I think they've already kind of set the benchmark. There's already a standard platform, and who knows what's going to happen in the near or long-term future with imports from there, if it's even going to be possible in the next 1, 2, 5 years or even longer. I mean, things are so uncertain these days, especially with that region. So I think there's probably, and we even said this in chat because we're talking about this in chat before we got on the show here to record, that there's one logical maker of this, and it's got to be Enola Gay. I mean, if you guys know, Enola Gay makes some fantastic smoke grenades. They do some flashbangs and some basic pyro, and I think they would be the ideal company to step up to make that a round that could fit in the existing tag platform, also build their own platform around it, start with that same standard for all the people that have invested into that system. I think it's the best way. I don't think it'd be an insult to the tagging guys. I think if tagging can find a way to relocate their company outside where they can continue operations and distributing outside, I would love to see them continue on. But I think having someone adopt their standard would be great. I would say no to a new standard because all the other people, and you're going to say, oh, well, it's copying someone. Well, Airsoft's all copies, essentially. I mean, think about it. We're all copying the original AEG design. Like every maker out there has copied that design. It's become the standard, right? It's like engines in a car. They're all based on roughly the same design these days. I mean, yeah, they're a little different here and there, but for the most part, they're running the same style. It's kind of the industry norm. So I think in this case, it would be okay. I mean, obviously the tagging guys might highly disagree with me, and I hope they don't. But to see their standard adopted, and if and when they can come back, they can come back in. I mean, they have such a brand name, such a relevance and a cachet to tagging that I don't think they're going to lose any market share. But I would love to see someone like Enola Gay step up and make a replacement to fit the system the tagging already has in place, to use that going forward. I think that's really the only logical one. I can't think of anyone else that could possibly come and step in to that space and do it effectively and great. I mean, knowing how well EG makes their smokes, they would do it just amazing job. And first step, make a launchable smoke grenade. Perfect. Just do that first and then kind of move out from there. All right. It's number 2. All right. And now number 3. Who we got? Luke. Let's find you in here. Where did you ask yours, Luke? Oh, here we go. All right. Luke Riot asked in chat, effects of the pandemic on Airsoft. I've noticed that the media presence greatly reduced, but that could also be due to YouTube ad revenue. So yeah, I'm actually going to be doing a full video about what's going on with the global economy and how that impacts our industry. And there's some pretty impactful things. It's going to be a standalone separate video coming on the channel here in the next week or so. But I will discuss this topic specifically now because I think this is very unique, specifically the YouTube piece. So yeah, you've seen a lot of media pull back in Airsoft. And I think it's for a few reasons. And I'll kind of lay them out, especially here in Asia where I have access to a lot of great stuff. One, just nothing new's coming out. And I mean, not nothing new, but there's not a lot new. And a lot of makers are doing their best because with supply chain issues right now and getting everything from raw materials to labor, because a lot of these countries use, migrant workers, immigrant workers in their factories, getting people to come across borders and all those things with borders that had been closed. Things are pretty much opened up now, finally, that it's been a big challenge to get the products in. And where they used to make, let's say, 2,000 of something, they would only be able to make 1,000 of something. Some of these companies that aren't big enough have a lot more difficult time getting access to either vendors to make their little parts so they can put the big products together, or even getting the raw materials like aluminum and plastic. Those prices have gone through the roof. And then cost. These things are incredibly expensive now. So the budget makers have really been hit the hardest. So if you make a entry level product, like let's say sub $200, €200 type product, it doesn't exist anymore because the cost of the product, the cost of the labor, and the cost of shipping. I mean, to move products across the ocean, it's like $20, $15, $20 a product sometimes, like $10. And that's what air shipping used to be in some cases. So I think that's one big thing is the lack of products. So YouTubers like myself don't have a lot to do. Gameplay, and I'll talk about how YouTube specifically handles this from a YouTuber's perspective. I would say about a third of my videos, I'll say more than half my videos are immediately flagged for no revenue. That's more than half. If it's a product review video, almost always it's flagged for no revenue. I'll request a manual review. Now this is done automatically by YouTube. It's their robots. They hear words that I say like, airsoft and gun and whatever. And then as soon as I just said it now, so I'm sure it's going to get flagged. So the robot system will hear these words. It doesn't know what's in the video. It just hears these words. It does the text to speech thing, and boom, my video is all of a sudden no money. Like, so there is money out there in YouTube. There still is. In fact, the CPC, which is how much you get paid per thousand, or CPM, has actually gone up. But as an airsofter, our ability to make or even have and reach into that bucket of money to monetize our videos, it's becoming more and more difficult. Like, we get our videos flagged, and this is from experience. You get this little yellow dollar sign instead of a green dollar sign, right? You get a green one that says, hey, you can make money on this video. You get a yellow one saying, no, only if they have YouTube Premium. And that's it. So you only make people who are watching that have YouTube Premium. So you make almost nothing on that video. When I mean almost nothing, I mean like pennies, like nothing, like sub-dollar, period, sub-dollar, US. So I have to go through this manual review process. Then it depends on this random magical person that lives somewhere. I don't even know where they exist. These people that review these things. I have to if they look at it and they see a product in there that looks like something real, they're like, no, they don't even stop. They're probably spending half a second or 2 seconds or 3 seconds on my videos, like scrubbing through like, oh yeah, it looks like there's something. They don't know. So I'm trying to put in my descriptions like, dear YouTube reviewer, this is all airsoft. It abides by your policies. And we get demonetized. So we make no money. I mean, literally no money. Like, I could tell you how little I make on YouTube and you'd be shocked. And I have almost 1,000 videos on this channel. And I would say more and more, they're being demonetized. Even old ones get demonetized. And I asked that review process. And once you're declined on the review process, you have no third chance. It's like, it's been reviewed, we made our decision, and it's locked forever, never to be monetized again. So you'd have to go and just move on. So I think a lot of YouTubers that, and you look at guys like Alphonse and Desert Fox and Jet and all those guys, and Dayton and House Gamers, if they go out and do a gameplay video, they spend a whole weekend filming and shooting and doing that, right? They spend an entire weekend going and playing, then days editing these things, right? And then just to have it demonetized, how do they make money, right? Oh, and if you do put a link under your video, I'll tell you this, to try to go, hey, pick up this product, one, they might just take your video down. Two, if there is a link, you're totally not going to get monetized. So there's really no way to make money on YouTube unless you're working with sponsors or brand deals or things like that. That's the only way. And it becomes more and more difficult to be profitable on YouTube and to run it as your primary job or business in this industry. And I think that's why you're seeing less people in the media world do it, because it becomes so burdensome and so frustrating because you don't get views. And also on top of that too, I'll go a little bit more down the rabbit hole. YouTube changed their algorithm with the whole shorts thing. And if you're not creating shorts, you're not getting views. They fixed it somewhat now, thank goodness. But all of our views dropped like a rock. And you notice my videos, I haven't posted many because I'd put a video up and get 25% of what I normally would get, because YouTube, their computer, their algorithm as they call it, says, well, everybody wants to see 60-second videos, so yours is 10 minutes, Jonathan. We're not going to share it with somebody. And they don't. YouTube doesn't, their robots don't even share the video with all of you that subscribe. So in short, it's coming back around. It's very challenging, and I think only the guys that and gals out there that are doing this professionally, that have other ways to get revenue into their channel, like me. I've got a patch company I own, patchfiend.com. Shameless self-promotion. You can check out the link in the description below and pick up some cool morale patches, ships worldwide. That only those of us that find other ways to monetize our business and make money survive, and that's it. And I think there's not a lot of people that can do that. You can't just jump into YouTube and do that. It's really hard. So anyway, that's like a very long answer to the question, but I think you're seeing the airsoft YouTube world is shrinking, and it's going to continue to shrink until things shift on YouTube, and hopefully it will. Fingers crossed, because I want us all to grow. All right, so that question's done. And by the way, I go really long on these questions sometimes. And I'm back to you guys chat, by the way. This is not recording. I go super long, and I'll cut these in post. So I'll ramble on for like 8 minutes on a question, and I'll probably maybe only put 4 minutes of that question, or 3 minutes, in the actual final video. So I do a lot of cutting in post. So you get to see the process. Well, maybe interesting for you. All right, so I'm going to do a wrap up on this video real quick, and then I'll go back to chat. I'll turn off my recording, and then we'll wrap up the live stream too. So this isn't the real wrap. This is just the wrap for the Q&A video. All right, well, that's it. This week, I didn't have a video of the week. We're going to be putting those back in. I just want to kind of do this impromptu with chat. I'll be adding those back in too, because I want to help support the community. So if you have a video of a YouTuber or YouTube channel that's airsoft related or anything remotely airsoft related, put it down in the comment section below. Even your own channel. I love people that self-promote, because we all have to grow in YouTube, and we all need the help we can get, as you can see in the question I answered this week. It's not easy for all of us out here that are trying to do YouTube and airsoft as a business and try to survive. But also, if you have a question, put it down in the chat below in the comment section. And if you want your question brought semi-live in and discussed in the live chat, I record these now every single Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. That's US time, and you can kind of adjust your time. I think it's like 1:30 GMT in the morning on the Thursday morning, but these will be Wednesdays. So Wednesday evenings, I'll be doing a live stream here every single week, recording the show and then releasing this video a few days after. So if you want to be part of the recording process, I would love to have you join the live stream. We do the recording, and then we talk for about an hour or so and chat and discuss and just hang out, because it's a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you all for joining the show here, and thank you all for the, I think, like 300th Q&A show, but the first Ask Airsoftology reboot of the Q&A. And until next week, go out, play some airsoft, have some fun, but no matter what you do, call your freaking hits. All right, cool. There you go. Now you saw the video. You see my terrible... Now you know how I make a Mondays. Let me turn off the recording. I really hope that recorded. I can't even see the screen, so if it did record, it's gonna be like terrible. I might have to pull it from here. Who knows? Pull it from the live stream and chop it. Yeah, we can actually. So US Airsoft is going to be at. I'm back to chat, guys. We're back to normal. Yeah, he's going to be with me and a whole bunch of other guys we talked about early in the stream, if you guys weren't on, about doing the Crytac owners meeting in Japan. It's going to be like almost less than a month away now, I think. It's going to be so awesome. So we are going to do a lot of collaborative things. So I think we're definitely going to have some roundtable topics. We're going to be, I think, Monday and Friday following the event, which is like the 11th and like the 14th, 11th and 10th, 7th and 10th. I don't forget the dates. Anyway, it's in early November, that first week of November. We'll be able to spend some time together and doing some filming. And I think we'll probably do one of these shows while we're there. And yeah, I want to talk about, and specifically the YouTube discussion vid. Yeah, I kind of want to talk about, I'd love to do a collaborative vid with other people that are in the YouTube space about the challenges, the pain points and all that. Like, Scott, I'm curious, man, like how many of your videos do get demonetized because you show guns in them? Like, I'm guessing you probably deal with the same crap I deal with. That you get it, you get the green dollar sign, you're like, all right, green dollar sign, publish. And then like you come back an hour later or 2 hours later, or sometimes the next day, yellow dollar sign. And you're like, oh, review. And then they have to 2-3 days later when they finish reviewing it, they're like, oh, sorry. And you put all that energy in and you make diddle squat, Yeah, exactly. Eight in the past 30 days. And they'll go back in your catalog too. Like all of a sudden, I'll just like scrolling through my old stuff, and they don't tell you. You don't get like a message. I start scrolling through, like you just basically sort your videos by like, what is it? I think it's monetization or something. It's like what do they call it? Let me go here. Channel content. I'll sort by monetization, filter by monetization, not monetized and limited. Let's see. Let's see how many videos of mine have been not monetized or limited. Holy moly. 116. 116, which I love this, by the way. One of them, I did a video on a foam dart gun. Literally, foam dart gun, the Ceta blaster that Evic was selling for a while. They demonetized a Nerf gun video. Can you believe it? I mean, like, a lot of videos I did on like live stuff, Q&A videos. I can understand like reviews, like the Star Scout video, the Rainbow Tracer video I did. That one's demonetized. The Novice Pistol SSP5 demonetized. And I don't charge these companies, right? I don't charge them to go do a video. So like I film, I do all this stuff, I edit and all this. I'm like, well, I'm hoping to make some YouTube rev, right? And then gone. Like literally, I have like the list is 116 videos. And some of these are like 50,000 views, 80,000 views, 50, 23, somewhere in the teens, 48,000 views, 82,000 views. I mean, that's all gone. So, yep. And that's what they've been smacking with. That's about, I'd say 13, 14% of my catalog has been just gone, like done. And some of my biggest viewing videos. Exactly. Yeah. So like, I'm kind of having a little quick discussion with, like, if they let us know what, like, hey, this is what we saw. And it's weird. Like there's no rhyme or reason. Like they literally like a Nerf video. Like, and if you read YouTube's terms of service, everything I do, if you don't promote a product, like I get it. If you put a buy link, you're technically not violating. You're in their monetization policy, exclusionary category or whatever the words they use, big legal garbage. So basically, if you monetize a video or you put a link saying, hey, you can buy the product here on Amazon, I make a little bit of money from the sale if you click here, or Evic does an affiliate program, which is good too. It helps us out. You know, like you can get in their programs and like you click the link, you buy something. It doesn't cost you anything else, but we make a little bit of money, right? So in those cases, we can at least earn a little bit of revenue, right? And I get it when you put a link there that's officially makes your video not able to be monetized. I mean, it doesn't kick it off YouTube. It just means it. So I understand that you have to pick either, do I make YouTube money, which is almost nothing, or do I maybe put a link in there and if it's something you're interested in, you'll buy it. Like I'm not forcing anybody to buy anything. You know, I always do a video and, you know, if it's good, great. If it's not, it's trash. Cool. You know? So yeah, those are what we do, but at least tell me on all the other videos where I don't do those links. Like, you know, why you demonetized a tracer, which wouldn't be against their policies, or the USW kit from Archwick, which I didn't put a link to buy under, or what else? I'm just scrolling through my last ones. I mean, you just keep going, right? Like a video on a Nerf gun. Why is that demonetized? So, yeah, it's all automated too. It's all some robot, you know, it's like all computer. So just, yeah, what do we do? What words are they picking up on? Like, what's the flag? That are they looking at the screen images and they see what looks like a gun, so that's where we get flagged? Are we talking about guns and that's why that it gets flagged? Who knows? Like I really don't know. Like I wish I knew. And it's just frustrating because as a creator and as you guys and gals out there that watch, which I like, we absolutely love you. I mean, like no BS, like for real. I make content for you. I don't make content for me. I make it for you. Like literally, because trust me, if I want to make money, I would be doing this. You know, there'd be way better ways to make money in life. But it's frustrating for anyone. And I can't imagine if you're new and you're like, okay, I'm going to go do a YouTube channel, and I'm passionate about airsoft, and I want to do an airsoft channel, and like you finally get to be monetized. You finally get to 4,000 views, and you get or 4,000. It's 4,000 views and 1,000 watch time hours or something like that. Is the monetization threshold. And you finally get to that point and you get it. And then like every video you put up is like, oh, we're not even going to let you have the money on that. Like, congrats for being monetized. And then you don't. Yeah, it's like, we got to find better ways. And that's why, Scott, I've been doing, things like the merch and that's been fantastic. I mean, but it's literally, honestly, like the merch, like doing the patches, the patch fiend stuff I do, it's like its own company now. It's its own living, breathing creation, and it actually does the part I get from Airsoft leads, like, hey, telling you guys about the patches, is like a very small percentage of like the wholesale and Amazon direct to consumer base stuff. Because like having on like that's like 90% is whole. I'd say like 30% wholesale, 60% Amazon, and like 10% from social. So yeah, and you get shadow banned, yeah, too. Gulf War Airsoft, yeah, exactly. And sometimes they'll shadow you too, like shadow ban you, like especially. And I don't know about you, Scott, that if you're dealing with like, I think you had a live stream squash. I know some people are getting their live stream sniped, like shut off midstream. I know people are getting kicked off TikTok. I know like companies like even Evic and SS Airsoft that are awesome companies are getting like their freaking accounts ripped away on like IG for just posting what they do. Like how do you, I don't know. It's frustrating. I'm not complaining, but like at least give me the rules of the game, right? Like I need to be able to figure out how to play this game. So once you tell me the rules, I'll play the game. So, yeah. And good morning from Belfast, Northern Ireland. I mean, you're catching us at the very end, Mark. We're just like, you went on long enough. Yeah, YouTube Shorts is good. I'm going to start doing some shorts. I'll start clipping from these and dropping them in. I think that's where shorts are going to come in, but I don't think I want to be like a shorts creator. I think the long form, I talk too much. You know me, I talk way too much. Can't do shorts. I'm lucky to get something in a 10 or 15 minute video. Man, you think I can squeeze like anything into 1 minute? Are you joking? Anyway. Oh, but yeah, I mean, shorts at least get monetized. I think they'll start doing a different revenue split on it, 55% or something. And that starts in March. So maybe I'll ramp up but I still like doing the long form. I mean, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy trying to help people. I enjoy talking about Airsoft. So I want to do this for you. And as long as you guys and gals like it, I'll keep doing it. So I forgot to stop recording on the mic. So yeah, man, I love it. So yeah, that's kind of, let me get this mic out of mic problems. It's kind of the show. I mean, it's really long live stream. I'll probably do shorter if we don't have guests on. I wanted to have Mark on the first one. So if you joined early, I had Mark on. If you joined late, come back and watch the replay of this. We have Mark on from Laylax, talking about like kind of the industry, their new products, things like that. But yeah, you have to get like, if you want to get monetized, you have to get it. But if you like me, I'm already monetized, which is good. Like Scott too, like anybody who's already done it with their long form content, you're in the system already from YouTube standpoint. So that's the good news there. Like you can just start sliding in shorts and getting a rev split. And I think you can use licensed music in there too. That's why the rev split's a little smaller. So revenue split. We'll see. I mean, I'm curious. Like I a little bit more helps because like pretty much I just end up dumping it back in the channel. I get mics and live stream equipment and all this stuff and just start doing it, put more back in, or I go buy more Airsoft stuff so I can do cool videos. You made $5 off a 10 million views short. You made $5. Oh, 10 million views. You made $5. That's sad, man. That is sad. I mean, not sad. It's flipping awesome. 10 million views is like popping off. I mean, like that's good. You don't accidentally get 10 million views. You made fire content, and to get $5, it's like being a server at a restaurant and getting stiffed on a tip after you're like, at a 5-star restaurant, you've been serving like lobster and stuff all day, and the bill's like $3,000. You're like, yeah, I'll make 20% of this thing, and the guy leaves you like a $5 bill as a tip. So, man. Oh, normal video, 10 million views? Actually, on YouTube, if it didn't get demonetized, based on YouTube average CPM 6, it's about $6 right now for Airsoft. So if we had the average CPM of 6 on 10 mil, jeez, that'd be a couple $1,000 video. So, yep, that'd be crazy. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like at least you can still make money on long form content as long as it's monetized. But yeah, I mean, heck, man, everybody, nobody wants to hear about this. The bot, I know, right? It's been a joke all for. Well, I've been fighting this bot. Like they keep recreating new bots in here. These adult, I don't freaking, YouTube won't pay us, but man, the bots will come in. So anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. Matt's a cool dude. Maybe I'll do a live stream with him on in Japan. He's gonna be there, so we'll maybe do some stuff there. I'm really hoping to do some collab stuff and do more, because I like doing this real stuff with you guys a lot better. Like, it's just natural. So anyway, I'm gonna go jump off. I gotta go run some errands now. I gotta go, like, the day, it's like almost noon here. So, and I haven't even had breakfast. So my breakfast was coffee, which, by the way, it's my Ayn Road Cowboy Bebop coffee mug. Gotta love it. I'm such a geek. Anyway, so guys and gals, thank you for joining the live stream. I super appreciate you guys sticking around, especially those that stayed the whole time. Holy moly, man. And engaging and doing all this. I really appreciate the great questions. If you want to get another question asked, just throw it below the live stream here, or when I publish the actual Q&A video, you can toss it under that. Hey, next week, same time, I'm going to do this. This is a weekly thing. It won't be like 3 hours, I don't think. We'll try to keep it down to about an hour, hour and a half, just of chill time. But yeah, I really want to see you guys. I'll be back next week. We're going to make this a regular thing. And I might pop in and do some side streams when I got some spare time too. But yeah, stay tuned. Wednesdays, nights, and like I say, it's like we're going to do 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, US time, GMT, things 1:30 in the morning, and then kind of play with your time zones according to that. So yeah, the Airsoftology, it kind of is, man. It's like the Airsoftology podcast 2.0. So anyway, thank you all. I will see you guys in the next live stream. And until then, just, I don't know. I don't use my tagline twice. So just go out and have some fun, man. Just shoot some BBs at each other. Play fair. Call your hits. You know, that kind of stuff. See you guys.